Hey everybody, it is Friday, August 22nd at 11:30 a.m. East Coast time. I am your host, Evan. I am Servers at Home. I'm here with my co-host, John, also known as Scarlet on Discord. Good morning, everybody, and good morning, John.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, we apologize for the delay. We have been out for a while. I know it's been... We uploaded 2 videos this week, I think. Right, John? Or was it 1 or 2? We did 2 this week, I think. And then we've been out. We haven't done a live stream since... Oh, man.
2.
We did 2? Yeah, it was 2. I think, what was the last live stream we did, though, John? I can't even remember the last time we did this.
It was the first. First of the month.
Yeah, so I was out 1 week, and that was a legitimate excuse. And then we were shut down for like a week or so, and this will be week 3. So let's talk about that. I'm gonna jump over.
I might let me know. I might have an issue with my mic, so if you guys have a hard time hearing me, let me know, and Evan can turn me up.
Yeah, you guys should be. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, we'll say. Somebody in the chat, let us know. Let's jump over to the Servers at Home blog. Yes, we have a blog. This is going to cover a lot of it. I'm just going to give you kind of the 10,000 foot view, but this is pretty detailed about exactly what happened, and I published a bunch of stuff on here as well from YouTube. So let me tell you what the situation was in case you're not caught up with this. We posted a video. We posted a top 10 video last week. Oh,
they said they can't hear me.
They can't hear you. Okay, hold on. Let's figure that out. Oh, now you're just fine. You're just a little quiet. Okay, I'm going to turn you up, John, and we'll see if that gets better.
Yeah.
Okay. If I need to give John more volume, guys, just let me know, and I'll turn his mic up on my end.
No. How does that sound, everyone?
I'm hoping that's fine.
I hope it's fine.
Yeah. If it's not, just keep telling us in the chat, and I'll just keep turning them up. So we uploaded a top 10 video, and I'm sure you guys saw that before, too. Gotta jump over here. So there's a couple things that we did.
Awesome, thank you.
Look at our videos. Yeah, so you'll see here in the latest videos. This was supposed to be. Oh, that's not it. Where's the newest? That should have been
on the channel.
I thought I did click on the channel.
Click on the channel. You're on search right now, buddy.
I'm so good at this. Oh, we're live. Okay. This was supposed to be a top 10 video, and we released it a couple weeks ago, and one of the videos on it was for this really cool piece of software, which is now going to remain unnamed because I'm scared to say it out loud. It's basically this really cool piece of software that if you copy and paste a video from YouTube into it, yeah, I'll turn John up a little bit more, just because I see people saying he's still a little quiet. That's a little bit more. So it takes the video and it basically scrapes the closed captions. What's up?
I would just say software that remains anonymous, and if you want to know software that is not anonymous anymore, then go watch the video for free on Patreon.
Yeah, we should put that link in the video description as well. I think we can, right? We can link to external.
I'll just put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So anyway, there's this.
So I wouldn't really talk about what it does. That's what I'm saying.
Don't talk about it. Gotcha. So anyway,
I probably wouldn't.
It doesn't do anything that violates guidelines, but YouTube believes it does. So YouTube was like, hey, you put up this video and there's a piece of it here talking about this anonymous piece of unnamed software that violates our policies. So it didn't, long story short, but that's neither here nor there. So it was not good. So they gave us a strike and they took down the video. And then we went back and forth with them. Wow, John, you posted that like 6 times in the chat. That's weird.
Gotta make sure that it gets known.
Oh, it's gonna get known. So go check out the video if you want to check out number 7 to know what we're talking about. But yeah, we went back and forth. So if you go back to the blog post, you'll see here I actually posted YouTube's response emails with some names taken. Everything's just basically the YouTube team. So you can see just how the level of ridiculous. John and I were both dealing with this back and forth and trying to figure out what to do. And we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing to try and get some understanding to see what was going on. And at the very end, YouTube was pretty much like, hey, we can't give you specific details. on why your content was removed. This is literally this is like the 6th email I got from YouTube trying to be like, hey, can you just tell me in plain terms what's going on and what we can do? And they said, no, we actually can't give you any insight at all about the nature of this decision, and we are unable to provide further specifics. So this was, for our team, was really frustrating because first off, almost everybody on the Servers at Home team is an unpaid volunteer. So we get a lot of guys here that are putting in their time and effort and get for the good of the community, not for any type of monetization, and they get no benefits. I'm not sending them like packages or cool technology. This is not that kind of channel. We don't make that kind of stuff here. These guys are all unpaid volunteers. So like, it's really frustrating when we see that kind of thing happen because people put time and effort into this to try and help the community. And yeah, no, YouTube was like, we're not going to tell you anything, and we're just going to give you the strike, and you're going to be offline for a week. And that's going to be what it is. And that was kind of how it was left. There's still a strike on the channel. It won't go away till November. So if anything else happens before now in November that YouTube deems inappropriate, we'll be offline for 2 more weeks with no monetization. So that was kind of the reason for that hiatus. We got booted for a week and we lost. And when that happens, by the way, I know you guys are not probably content creators. I lose control of the channel at that point. I can't do anything. Like, I can edit existing videos in like just terms of just like the descriptions and maybe timestamps, but I can't upload anything new. I can't live stream. We can't do anything other than maybe just edit the descriptions of videos that already exist. That's pretty much what we're limited to for a week. So we were offline for a while. Yeah. It was rough.
I was just relaxing. I finished editing the video. We published it. I was relaxing for the rest of the day, and I get a call from Evan because he was away. And so I was like, maybe he just wants to talk to me about like maybe an idea of like inspiration he got or something. And he just tells me our video got taken down. I thought he was like messing with me. He doesn't normally mess with me like that. So I was like, there's no way. Because there's straight up just nothing that we did that's on that video that should have flagged anything. And for anyone that doesn't know, YouTube processes the video and does a transcript with it to make sure that nothing is against their TOS already. So they looked through the video already. I'm assuming someone caught it and caught the piece of software. So what the software apparently did is it apparently downloads YouTube videos, which it doesn't do. And it does something completely different. And that is basically the only kind of example that we got to saying this could possibly be why. So I had appealed the strike, and the 11-minute video got miraculously reviewed in under 2 minutes, and we got our strike then denied, or our appeal denied. And so that's when I had told Evan that there's nothing else that we can really do on YouTube, because as far as anything else on our side, we can't message YouTube, we can't email YouTube, there's literally nothing. After this appeal process is done and finalized, that's it. They don't have to talk to us anymore. That's that. So the best option for us was to try and get a hold of them through Twitter. And thank you everyone that liked and shared the post for that. That got them to respond pretty quickly on Twitter. And I spoke to some people behind the scenes to try to push them to respond to that. And so they did within pretty decent amount of time, honestly. So they did that Friday night, and then it was like Sunday morning, after they had verified the account and everything, they said basically a human has reviewed the appeal and that their strike is still going to remain. And like, there's no way that someone reviewed an 11-minute video in 2 minutes and also looked at the suspicious software and said, yeah, that's what we thought it was. So, then we refuted that, and then we got escalated to another person, and then they said something like, what was it, like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that? Um, and tried saying like, "Nope, that's it." And they weren't even trying to have a discussion with us. It was just a, "Hey, here's this. We're no longer talking to you. Have a good day." So they didn't even want to try to discuss it. Um, so then we responded once more to try to argue it again, to hopefully someone would change their mind. Because at that time, the only thing we were really hoping for was to be able to post or possibly get the video added back up. Because it's obviously it was that section of the video that was the problem, because we re-uploaded it this week on Monday and it's still up.
Yeah, no problems.
So I don't know what else it could really be. What just makes it so stupid is the fact that they have an editing tool built into YouTube for the users to use. So you could just say like, "Hey, edit this part of the video out," so that one, we know what content you're okay with being on the platform and what content you're not okay with. Um, Generally, YouTube is not going to take action on something unless it harms them, and that's just the best way to play it. And I was foolish enough to think that that I guess I shouldn't say foolish. I was thinking too much common sense that they would look into this tool and realize it's not harming them. Because YouTube already has a AI summarization video or summarization built into the platform itself. And so if you don't know, the way YouTube makes money is by you watching the video just with AdSense, or with if you're a YouTube Premium member, that premium money gets added to a pool, and how much of that content, how long you watch of that, gets added to that pool for that creator. So if you just pause the video, the creator's not getting anything, and neither is YouTube. So if you just go to the description and click the summarize video button that's there natively on YouTube, then they're not making any money. I'll just throw that out there. But yeah, so this was all pretty stupid. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. We know a little more now. We've come away with this. We'll lick our wounds and come back, try to do what we can, try to make sure that we don't do this to you guys again. Because a week's a long time. A week's a long time to. A lot of things have changed, and that's why this live stream is going to be a little bit longer, because a lot has gone on.
Yeah, so let's get to that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to link this blog post in the comments section if you guys want to read the emails that we got from YouTube. They're published in full there, so you can see just how you wouldn't. I think people are going to think I've edited this to make them look worse, and I promise you, these are completely raw and unedited emails. They are exactly what they sent me. It is truly unbelievable to see what a multi-billion-dollar company will send people that actually are the reason that they exist. I was astounded. I was pretty astounded, but we're going to go ahead and jump on because we've missed a few weeks of self-host. Amazingly, John, actually, they haven't done that. They only did one T3 in like the last 3 weeks. So we'll get to that on Monday. I'm going to do the recap for everybody that's looking forward to the T3 recaps. There hasn't been any of those yet either. And that's not just because we've been offline. That's just because they haven't been publishing them. So we just got kind of back online with that. We're going to start with self-host. We'll move over to TrueNAS stuff a little bit later in this podcast, or probably next week. On the recap that we usually do on Monday. But let's start with the new stuff here. We're going to start with the Self-Host Weekly, 22 August. This was a big thing that I see. So I will tell you guys, I'm getting more into AI a lot lately. Somebody reached out to me through the platform and through Discord, and he's a lot better at AI than I am. I'm not really great with local AI, but this person really is, and they're trying to get me into like Llama Swap and like Llama CPP or something like that to get away from Ollama, because Ollama is apparently not a great backend to host models. So this is one of the things. I'm on like the Reddit forums for like all the AI stuff, and I saw this, and the users complaining about the new OpenAI launch. It says, "Oh no, it's paywalled." Anyway, in case no one knew this, if you use ChatGPT, which most of the world does, ChatGPT released a new model, ChatGPT 5. They removed initially 4 and 4.0 and 4.0 mini and all that stuff, and people went crazy about the fact that they removed 4.0, especially paying customers, because usually OpenAI will let you use the older models, and the new one, of course, is the fancy one that may try and everybody pay for, but they really rip 4 right out. So people are like, what am I paying for if I don't get to use the one that I want? So people were hot about that. That was a big deal, and a lot of people say GPT-5 is not actually any better than 4. In fact, it's really worse. So people didn't want to use it, and they didn't have an option, and they were paying money for it. So this was one of those things that kind of got people up in a tizzy. John uses AI a lot. John, I hear you're getting ready to jump in on this.
There's a not insignificant amount of people that want 4.0 back, not because, let's say it is better than 5. That's not the reason why. They're wanting it because it is more charismatic. It's more loving towards a user. And so they're wanting it for companionship rather than for the knowledge that it can provide you, or to help strengthen your skills. Not insignificant amount of people want it back because of that, which is it's something.
Yeah, it is. I definitely know people. It was weird because when I read the articles, it was the way that they were kind of painting it was that people wanted it back because they were talking to it and it was talking back to them more like a person. And like the new GPT-5 is much more glib. Like you're going to get very shorter, much more like condensed answers. And people were using 4.0 like it was like a chatbot. Basically, they were actually talking to it like a person. And apparently those people got pissed. Very upset that like GPT-5 was not talking back to them the way that 4 did. I thought that was really interesting. Yeah.
And so far with 5, I haven't really seen a jump anywhere. I like the thinking model to where it thinks. It just takes its time to really think more. So I give it an instruction set to say, hey, if you're going to do this, really think about it. Check yourself before you waste my token, my money. Really think about it, what you're about to give me. Make sure it's all correct. And even then, it still messes up. But I find it's, you tell it to, and you give it that instruction set more. It does do better. Personally, for me, it has with the instruction set I've been using. Math, it still sucks at. Right now, I'm doing a project that has to deal with spawn tables, and it doesn't know the difference between like 80% and 100%, which with a spawn table, you need multiple spawns to equal out 100%, and it just doesn't seem to know the difference between that. And that's with like multiple days of trying out different strategies to try to make it so that it checks that math. It still doesn't know how to get to 100%. And I'm using it doesn't know how to get to 100%, which is that's pretty silly.
Yeah, that is. That's very interesting. I saw the people complaining about how the fact it doesn't know how many bees are in blueberry, can't spell. I think that one was specifically patched like that exact problem. But that was like, I've seen some interesting things in the forums, people talking about just really people just picking it apart because they're not happy with it like at all. But yeah, that's AI is here to stay. Obviously, I don't think anybody really is confused to think that it's going anywhere anytime soon. It's not. I'm really trying to get into it, especially for the guys self-hosting. So if anybody on this channel is like, hey, I want to get better at self-hosting AI, I think the big thing I have with that, and the reason you guys haven't seen more content, is the only graphics card I have right here right now is like a P400, which has got about 2 gigs of VRAM, which is enough to run like the smallest, crappiest models there are. I'm trying to get up with something a little bit more like a 3060, somewhere in there. And there's used ones out there for reasonable prices, but what I'd really like to do is get something that's got a lot more, something that's got like 20 or 24 gigs of VRAM, which would put me up in like the 3090, 4090, 5090 kind of range. that's enough to really do some damage. Like that's when you can start running local AI that actually like will give you answers that are good enough to the point where you're like, maybe I can use this instead of the real thing. I think the biggest challenge right now is the fact that like for people running to be really good at it. Like if you don't know how to tune it and you don't know how to give it exactly, and your prompt engineering is off, like you're just not gonna, like I can get better results off the free OpenAI Chat GPT. Like not even signing up, just literally logging in with like a like disappearing conversation than I can with like hundreds of dollars worth of local hardware. And that's the challenge, I think. And it's like that until we get closer to the point where I can run good AI off my local hardware that actually competes with something close to the big guys, it's still kind of very niche in my opinion. But I'm trying to get more into it. We're going to see. You guys might see more AI content coming out of this channel eventually. But yeah, we will see. First article I want to... What you got, John?
I didn't realize Portainer, it got a facelift.
It did. It looks so pretty now. Actually, I just had to log into my Portainer this afternoon for something, and I saw the new one, and it was a lot better. Well, not to say a lot better looking, but you guys can see here.
That looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's much cleaner right now. So it's getting better. The left side, it's still structured the same, so everything, all the buttons are where they were before. So if you like, you're like, oh, you're not gonna get lost, but it's definitely better looking.
Yeah, we might need to do another video about that then.
Yeah, we might have to since they just upped it. But this is the new Portainer IO. This is kind of the new branding logo. Of course, this is the picture for business edition. I have my local edition here. But yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely got a pretty heavy update. So I don't know how many of you guys are actually using Portainer. A lot of people, I think, kind of shy away from it because it's more enterprise class. But I'll be honest with you, before Dockage existed, this is all we had. So if anyone's just jumping on this channel, you guys see we push Dockage pretty hard for guys that are brand new to it because it's very, very simplified. Very big buttons, not too many things to get confused with. Portainer's got a lot more features, but I'll be honest with you, it's not, in my opinion, it's not harder to use. You just have to know where the things are, and there's a lot more options you're not going to need to click if you're not going to do something crazy with it. So yeah, no, it's in my opinion, it's kind of cool. I like it. So we might have to do another video, but if you're scared to use Portainer, like I run them both side by side. There's no danger in doing that. You won't be able to manage your Dockage stacks in Portainer, and you won't be able to manage your Portainer stacks in Dockage, but at least you can see the interface and see how it interacts and things like that. Like you'll be able to walk yourself through it. I like it. I've used it for a long time until Louis Lam released Dockage. Like this was it. This was my go-to Docker management solution. So I do like it. So if anyone's never used Portainer before, here's my shameless Portainer plug. Go ahead and install it next to Dockage, like alongside, and just kind of play with it and see how it looks in terms of container managing. You might like it more and decide to switch. That's fine. It's definitely a good container, and I like it a lot.
As I have grown older and learned more, purple has become my favorite color. It's actually interesting. From the top 10 video, containery was the worst.
Yeah.
The one that people did not like the most. Like there was a significant drop in retention. People just clicked the timestamp to go next. To the next section, to the next one. People right now, it just doesn't seem they're caring about containers like that manage Dockers. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I did not expect that one to
I'm
be.
wondering what the sentiment is behind that. Like, are people just like, no, I already used something, I'm not happy, or they like watch 3 seconds of this and they're like, no, not for me. I don't even know. I was like, there was some animosity against the idea of even talking about other container management. They're like, that's not good either.
It is a downcline, and then it goes to like Mount Everest when the next timestamp hits for Dashar.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, John texted me about that on Discord like a few days ago, and I was like, I haven't even seen that. So I checked it either like yesterday or today, and I can clearly see the dip that he was talking. I thought he meant like it was doing really good, and then I look at the thing, and I'm like, nope, no, it's not. Like there's like a pretty much like this line that kind of goes from the top left to the bottom right as like the video goes on with a natural like decline of viewers, and like there's a really like it looks like an inverse speed bump like right where the section where containery is, and it goes right back to like where the line should be, and I was like, oof, that's that's something.
And then there was another one up for Plex users.
Yeah, I saw that.
Get off portal. It looks like it might just be Is it something that Plex made, or is it just someone else, something else someone else made?
I don't think this is not from the Plex
No,
people.
it's not Plex.
Yeah.
That's interesting to use Plex as your like authentication. I don't know why you would, but if that's what you wanted,
Yeah. I love the warning. This project uses vibe coding and AI assistance. It's unaffiliated with Plex. It's funny. I love the warning. Like, hey, I coded this with AI. That's great.
it looks good.
It does,
From the
it does, yeah,
pictures
it
he
does look
showed.
good. Like for vibe coding, this is interesting. I don't know. Like, if you guys are using something like this, I want to know. If someone's using like this kind of setup, I want to know what kind of why you need this portal in here, like with Open LDAP and all these things. Like I'm just curious. I'm curious to see what people are using this for.
Um, and then for everyone on the Android side using NZB360, they released a native unraid support.
Which is where I use this actually.
That is wild.
What I don't know. What does that even mean at this point? You go to
I'm
manage your
assuming
unraid
you
arrays.
can just manage a lot of it. That's cool.
Yeah,
That
manage
is
it.
so cool.
That reminds me of like Proxmox. Like, so Proxmox has a client too where you can manage your Proxmox servers, your containers. Like I have that for my Proxmox server. It seems like they're trying to do that for Unraid, which is weird. Like, why pick Unraid of all the operating systems? Why would you go? That's interesting that he decided to go in hard on this one.
Yeah. Well, he might. I mean, that's not off the Proxmox isn't off the table
That's
if
true.
they're doing it with Unraid.
Yeah, this is a great
You
container,
know,
by the way. If you've never heard of this before, I've mentioned this on the wiki before. But like, if you're looking to manage your media management stack, this is the manager of the media managers, and it's incredible. And for Android, it's not on Apple phones, unfortunately. So if you have an iPhone, which like probably 99% of you guys have, and you're ignoring me right now, sorry. But if you have Android, which I do, this is the bee's knees, and it's actually a paid thing, but totally worth the money. Yeah, this is cool. I'm gonna have to check this out. I haven't even updated yet, so I'm gonna take a look at it. That was the old Reddit post too. That's weird. That's where it like dumped me to. Okay, John, we talked about we wanted to, oh, this is gonna be cool too. I forgot about I went right past this. Nextcloud is getting ready to go to Hub 25 Autumn. They're changing the way they name their releases. So this is like the first two numbers is going to be the year, and then it's going to be the season. So 25 Autumn was going to be fall of 2025, and that's the way the naming. Which, John, we talked about naming schemes before. I know you hate the numbers. You're a big fan of like actual like real names.
well, it's as long as the numbers mean something. Like 25 more than likely means just 2025. Like with Home Assistant's updating scheme. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This is going to be a pretty big deal. In case you guys don't know anything, again, I never know what our users know and don't know. So in case you never heard of Nextcloud, Nextcloud is designed. It's out of Germany, and the goal for these people is to completely replace anything that Google makes. So if Google makes something, Nextcloud wants to have an equivalent that's self-hosted and private, and that you have complete sovereignty over. And they're doing a pretty good job. If you've never used Nextcloud before, it starts with a pretty base install, and then they have these plugins. And then the plugins do stuff. So like the plugins would be chat or photos or like a Zoom replacement for video calls or email or whatever. There's got to be, I don't even know, John, what, like 100, 150 plugins? There's a lot. There's a lot of plugins. So yeah, I run a very stripped down version of Nextcloud. I basically just use it for file management. So I have public shares, private shares. I can do Dropboxes with it. So basically everything involving file sharing is basically what I use Nextcloud for. And it's what John and I use for a collaboration platform as we edit and share the YouTube video stuff that we do for all of that. So that works really, really well. I love Nextcloud a lot. It's got, it's kind of a controversial thing because some people say it breaks a lot for them. Some people say it's kind of hard for them to deploy. I watch the videos that we make. I think the best recommendation I have is that we have it running pretty smoothly here on servers at home, and I don't think that if anyone follows the directions, you'll have a problem. So I would say just do that. But I always get fired up when Nextcloud does the updates because they really do make it better and better every time. And the fact that they continue to give it away for free is partially ridiculous to me. Yeah. It is kind of a resource hog. I saw somebody down there talk about that. The reason it's a resource hog is because it does a ton. I mean, when it does as many things as it does, of course, it's going to take up some resources. It's not a super lightweight container, but again, in my opinion, I think it's great. I'm a huge, unabashed fan of this project. John, I think we wanted to just touch on the Firefly thing, because talking about the fact that they can do this now.
Yeah.
Cool. We've talked about but we talked about budgeting software before here. I told you guys I'm really not using. I'm paying for my budgeting software. John's not really using budgeting software, but if you are using Firefly, which is one of the 2 most popular self-hosted budgeting softwares out there, this is a pretty cool feature to send an email about upcoming or due bills. That's the kind of nice thing that I like to see built in, because the version that I pay for, because I pay for Rocket Money. Rocket Money does all the kind of stuff automatically, and it's a really nice integration. It's one of the reasons I pay for it. But if you're gonna on the self-hosted side, this is definitely a big step up that makes you kind of feel like you're paying for the real thing, except you're not. And of course, you have full sovereignty. So that kind of jumped off the page of John. He brought it to my attention before too. I think it's pretty cool. I'm a huge fan of this. We're using OBS for live streaming. I've never heard of Ganymede, John. OBS is kind of like the standard go-to. Oh, this is for like gaming, I think.
Yeah, that's for something that that's for something different.
Yeah, it is. I'm always on the lookout, always looking for cool things.
Gaddis, what was uptime monitoring? It's got a UI overhaul?
If anything's got a UI overhaul, John wants to know about it, because UI is his bread and butter.
It looks okay. I don't know what it was before, or even if this was updated. I would assume that's the updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
When was the last time the README was updated? Let's take a look here. README. Yesterday. Yeah, so this is probably new. This is definitely good looking. I'm not mad at this at all. Problem is, Uptime Kuma is so great. That's the challenge. Like, I'm glad. I mean, we need more competition for Uptime Kuma, but this is not terrible.
There was something on the first that we talked about that we need to look at. That was for like an alternate to Uptime Kuma. I forget what it was.
Maybe I gotta take a look. So, and the funny part is, he actually quotes his competition as Alert Manager, CloudWatch, or Splunk, and Splunk is like an enterprise grade. This is, I would have mentioned Uptime Kuma, but he's not even talking about that. It makes me think that, in this case, he's trying to go more for the enterprise market, which is interesting. But yeah, no, this is, again, I like seeing this. I like seeing the competition. I like seeing people going after stuff like that. The configuration looks a little complicated, and that's the challenge. It's always like, hey, how clean and how easy can you get this? But yeah, Hunter, it just releases Prowler support. So again, if you're using media management and Hunter is one of the things that you have integrated into your stack, I absolutely have it in mind. This has been updated to 8.2. This is version 8.2.0. They're actually on 8.6. If you don't know anything about Hunter, dude, Hunter gets an update every 3 hours. It's on 8.6.6.2, I think, right now, or 8.6.6. It'll be on 8.7 by the time we get off this call. So just know that if you're using this, you're going to see a lot of updates. You need to have Watchtower, some kind of auto update pointed at this, because it happens way too fast. Komodo is something that we've been meaning to do. We haven't done this video yet. We planned this would be one of our first like ever kind of live installs. And they just keep making this thing better. So again, I don't know whether or not this video would even get traction at this point, because we talked about Containery. Containery just got completely dumped on that last video, and this is basically the same thing. It's another container manager, except this one's way more fully featured. It's definitely looking better. What was the mention of it? So it's got a, where are you?
Yeah, a lot of people said that they wanted it, and then I've put it up basically on every vote.
Yeah.
On Discord every Saturday, and it has not won yet. So.
I know, and I can't believe that too. John keeps throwing me under the bus too, by the way. If you guys see those votes for to go up, John doesn't like actually coordinate that with me yet, so he'll just put up some containers, then you guys will vote for something. I'll be like, dude, I can't deploy this. Like, this is gonna give me gray hair. Everybody votes for like the stuff that's the hardest thing to deploy ever, instead of just giving me the easy like softball. Just show us Komodo. Kills me every time. He kills me.
Duplicati was a great video. Notifier was a great video.
Oh God, Notifier.
They are great software.
I told John. I want everybody to hear this. Hear me loud and clear. All 30 of you that are listening to this right now. When John put up Notifier, and I was like, I hope that doesn't get votes, and then it won by there's an overwhelming majority. I messaged him back. I was like, I'm not doing that video. Like, I don't care what you say. This is gonna be. It took me like 2 or 3 days to learn that thing, to finally set it up. We had to pay for it just to show some extra some capabilities. Oh, it was not fun. That was I
Oh,
was.
it's a one-time fee of $5. It's nice. It's on a subscription. That's hey, you gotta make a bag. It needs to become a norm that people can get paid for their work. And 100%, the fact that it's a one-time fee is amazing. If it was a requirement, but the fact that it's a one-time fee for something that they're doing to connect to an API with trash guides, that's pretty cool. I would like to see other guides implemented that are out there, like other quality profile guides. I would like to see the UI get updated, but that's about it. I think it's great. Um, I'm gonna be using it a lot. I'm gonna set it up eventually. Well, Evan's gonna set it up for me.
Yes, don't do that. This is what John does. This is how I get pulled in. This is how I feel like Pacino, man. They just keep pulling me back in. I do one thing for John. Next thing you know, it's like here's a user account for you, and here's a VPN key, and you just jump on and just do that for me. Like, oh, come on, man, come on.
Yeah. Hey, how is the access through Wi-Fi, man? My Unify setup.
Oh yeah, the Unify stuff. Oh, that was a travesty. So let me tell you, if you're using Windows and you have like Unify gear, you're probably in very, very good hands. I run Fedora on my daily driver, so John's like, here's this Wi-Fi cool thing that'll let you get this really cool VPN to do this. And I went to go install it on my Linux machine, and it's like, yeah, no, Unify makes Linux drivers, but they're only .debs, which is basically Ubuntu and Debian, which, don't get me wrong, covers a huge swath of ground, but I run Fedora, and a lot of other people run a Red Hat derivative like Fedora. They don't make it for that. So I had to pull out my laptop, which runs Windows 10 or 11, I think 11, and I had to install it there. So every single time I have to do something for John, instead of me working on my beautiful 4K monitor, my nice keyboard, mouse, and all that stuff, I'm working on my tiny little like 14-inch laptop to do like semi-complicated things to get his server where it needs to be. So I'm just like, if I wasn't mad enough that I was doing it in the first place, now I'm doing it on a laptop, which is just, I feel like I'm just.
You never told me that.
Yeah.
We could just set up Tailscale if it's that big of a problem.
Oh, I didn't know you had. Yeah, no, I would have preferred Tails. Well, yeah, no, because I actually use Netbird, but yeah, it would be easier for me to do that versus the Wi-Fi man. But to answer anyone's question, the Wi-Fi thing is for Wi-Fi man is actually really cool. On my Windows machine, it runs flawlessly. It's just a one little click thing. It sits in the bottom right by the tray, and I just get to basically flip a switch, and I'm on John's VPN like instantaneously. So it's beautiful for Windows. But yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, the Unify stuff is solid. All I gotta say.
I know. I'm thinking.
Good.
So I want to switch. I want to switch my router. I think is like I'm using the router I'm using right now is my standard one that I get from Verizon, and everybody's gonna be like gonna poo-poo that, but like so my Verizon is FiOS to the door, so like the fiber terminates on a box that's bolted to the side of my house, and that's got its own power box. And the router they give me, they convert the fiber into regular Cat 6, but the router does 10 gigabit hardwired, which for me is a big deal because I have 10 it's 10 gig base T. So if you don't know what that is for the networking people out there, it basically means that I can plug in a regular Cat 5 or Cat 6 cable, and I can get 10 gigabit internet without doing fiber cards, without doing anything like that. So all you need is the equipment to actually run it. So I have like a cheap router that I got off eBay, or a cheap switch, I got off eBay, and then I get the Intel like X510 cards, whatever they are, or X528, whatever they are, that are basically just 10 gigabit cards, and I have 10 gigabit all over my house without fiber, and then have to have any kind of professional install. It's like, it was pretty straightforward. So it was really great. I like that a lot, and I think that's kind of a great way to go. That's why I'm kind of scared to swap out this router. If I do that, I'm like, man, I've got built-in 10 gigabit LAN right now. So if I have to go swap to a Unify piece of equipment that also has built-in 10 gigabit LAN, like that's not the entry-level stuff. Like John was probably going to tell you that, John, you might actually know what the cheapest piece of Unify gear is that gives me 10 gigabit LAN, because that would be like the minimum bar to entry for me, because I wouldn't swap out the ISP's 10 gigabit router for a 1 gigabit Unify. Even though Unify is way better, I still wouldn't do that just for the speed hit.
I'm pretty sure it's like 200-300.
Yeah.
I have been looking more into the Unify, what was it, OS that they released. There's been more people discussing it, and we thought at first you could use any type of gateway that you wanted to, but then I heard that you had to use a Ubiquiti made gateway. And so then I was like, well, that's kind of silly. And then um I heard someone else say you can use any gateway. So I don't know. We'll have to wait. Right now it's still in like its early development. So more people will probably come out, talk about it, dabble with it. So you could have all the features of Unify and buy the Unify gear without needing to buy their gateway.
Yeah, that would be the goal.
There's switching. there's switches and all of that gear. It can get done pretty cheap, honestly. You can get 10 gig pretty cheaply, in my opinion. $200 to $300 is not a lot for 10 gig.
No, so like the switch I got was an 8 ports 10 gig switch, all base T. Every single port is base T. That was like $220 just for that switch. So that's on par with 10 gig base T if you're not going to go just jump straight to the SFP fiber. So we're to see. I'd be nice to have like I would like to own my own router, and this way, no matter what happens, like I always own my router. It doesn't belong to the ISP. It belongs to me, and I can just tap into it. That would be great. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards, and I really like to go that way. My network stack, for everybody out there that thinks I'm doing anything crazy, like it's super basic. I basically have a 48 port switch, that's just gigabit, and I've got that fancy like 8 port 10 gig switch, and my stock router that I got from Verizon. That's it. Like right now I'm running both Pi-hole and AdGuard for a video that might be upcoming. So that's a little teaser right there. But usually I don't even run that. I just run, Cloudflare DNS blocking on my router, and that's basically it. I don't have any VLANs. I have a guest network that I put all my IoT stuff on because it's natively, it's natural by default. It's very unsafe. But other than that, I'm not running anything crazy with like subnetting and VLANing and things like that. It's just all my IoT devices are on one network, which is built into the Verizon router, it's the guest network, and everything else is on my main network. John, are you doing anything real? I mean, you have Unify gear. Are you doing anything crazy with your network, John? Or are you just like the gear?
I'm doing some stuff I've talked about before. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I like the UI. So I've seen some screen shares with John, he'll jump on his Unify gear, and I'll see like the screens that are like watching him do some network management, and it's nifty. Like it is definitely like I get FOMO when I see him do that kind of stuff, because I'm like, it's really, really pretty actually. Like Unify has got their act together when it comes to their UI and just their management in general. It's definitely that's why when I see all the YouTubers, like especially Techno Tim goes in hard. When I watch his videos when he's like demoing the $1,000 pieces of equipment that Unify lets him borrow, just gives him for free, I'm like, oh my god, I wish that could be us. I wish that one day this channel will get there and someone will throw me $1,000 piece of brand new Unify gear, and I'll get to make a video on it and just be so happy with my life. Anyway, all right, let's keep going down this list, guys. We're going to cover a lot of things today, so we're just going to get there. Mealy, I love Mealy. I'm unabashed a fan of it. I've said about this is one of our first videos that I ever put out because I use this with my wife, and it's amazing. So if you don't use Mealy, really cool. It's just a private cookbook, and I love it because if you never cooked before and you try and get a recipe from like Instagram or Pinterest, the ads and just the pages are like, they look like 2000s, like early 2000s internet, and there's just pop-ups and like ads every. It makes you want to like burn your phone down. And so when I use this, I can basically just put in the URL of a recipe, and it'll scrape it and pull in all the information, and then just give it to me in a clean format that doesn't give me pop-ups, like keeps my phone screen on when I'm cooking, which is another thing that like kind of drives me crazy when your phone goes to sleep. It does a whole bunch of really cool things. I am a huge fan of this. Oh, they have a demo too, which is fun. Yeah. But yeah, if you've never seen this before, this is really cool. I've got mine set up, and this is how it looks. So it looks a lot cleaner on your phone, but like you can instantaneously just pull a create in here, and you can import by URL, and that's what makes it amazing. The ability to just do a quick import URL. I can click recipes. It'll tell me all my ingredients. The instructions, you can click them as you do them. You can turn on cook mode, and it'll just give you the basics. I love it. This is a great container. If you're not using Mealy, check it out. So they just upgraded that this week, so now they use more pictures. Ingredients now represented as foods with specific fields. Sort preference, love it. Absolutely love it. John, who does the cooking in your house? Is it you or is it your wife?
Honestly, it's a mix of both. Before we got married, it was me a lot, because I did a lot of the cooking for my family, but I taught her a lot, and so she's picked up a lot more.
That's good. That's really good. Oh, dude, I saw Sean's Hall talking about. I'm gonna go forward in a minute, but this dude's getting 3 gig for $100, man. I'm getting gigabit symmetrical, and it cost me like $80 or $90. Whatever area you're in, I want to move there. If I had 3 gig
I'm
symmetrical for $100, that would be crazy.
I'm getting 2 for I think like 75 or 95 right now.
2 down, 4 up.
2 down and 2 up.
2 out. You're getting 2 2. Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice though. I'd love to go to 2 2. That would make me very happy.
I don't even get close to using any of it.
Every once in a while, I did yesterday when I made the change. So John and I both made some changes on our media management side to change the way our profiles look, and we had to go ahead and replace a bunch of media, and we did that all at once. So I absolutely sent him a picture. I was like, "Yeah, I'm maxing my pipe out now, like literally like 110 megabytes per second, megabytes, not megabits, megabytes per second download." Like I was like worried that if I had to stream something for work, I'd be cut off in my Zoom call. Like I was absolutely just maxing out the pipe. That never happens usually though. Most of the time, it's with empty space. We're already kind of
on the Discord earlier this month I showed what my like monthly usage was at.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Right now, after the changes we made, my monthly data is at 23.1 terabytes.
You're gonna get a letter from your ISP, and they're gonna be like, "Sir, we need you to explain yourself."
Nah.
You're definitely gonna show up on someone's right. Some sysadmin right now at your ISP is like, "Hey, John, hey, come over here and check this out. Look at this one user. It's got like 26 terabytes down. That's absurd. That's an absurdly high number." Okay, we don't do anything here. Everything here we do is great. Paperless NGX. If you don't use Paperless, and you've never heard of this before, this is really great. I'm glad they put the PDF editor in there. Editing PDFs is a nightmare if you're not on like Windows and you don't have like Adobe or something like that. It's just a huge thing that like no one's ever solved.
With Adobe, it's awful.
Yeah, Adobe's awful. It's not great. I feel like that's one of those things that like nobody is like putting any time into. Like, oh, let's make PDF like management or like editing and features better. No one's touching that at all, and it drives me crazy. We do more screenshots? Let's do more screenshots. So Paperless NGX, in case you guys don't know what this is, it's another really cool container. I think we've done a video on this at this point. It's pretty cool. There's some screenshots. Can we blow these up? Yeah, here we go. Basically, the way this works is it doesn't work with a folder system. Like I know a lot of people, like I'm coming from the old school where like on my hard drive, I have like nested folders full of all my paperwork and stuff so I can keep track of everything. Paperless doesn't do that. You basically pull out your phone. You can do uploads of existing PDFs, but the way it's meant to work is that you're meant to scan your documents with your phone. It'll take like a hot read on it, and you can go ahead and it'll automatically upload it to your documents area of Paperless NGX, and then you can tag it if you want. But the reason and the strength of Paperless NGX is the fact that it does what's called OCR, which means that as it puts the PDF in there, it basically scans every single word that you scan with your phone. So if I take a picture of a document and I scan it and I upload it to Paperless, Paperless will be able to read the contents within the document. So if I have a document for like tax information and I know that I paid like $5,000 in taxes or whatever, I can type in like the $5,000 figure in the search documents and it'll find the document where that $5,000 figure appears within. Not just the title of the document, not just the tag, like the actual content of the document. I can search for phrases, words, sentences, whatever. I know that sounds boring, but like I don't think you guys realize how serious that is when you have a ton of paperwork. If you're like, I remember it's like some document said something and I know what it said, but I don't know which document it's in, you can just type the phrase directly into the search documents and it'll take you right there. So that's for a lot of people that use a lot of paperwork. That's great. Very pretty, obviously, very straightforward. You can tag things automatically, and it's a really cool container. I said I think I've done a video on it, but it's hard to show off all the features of this because it's so powerful. I'm not sure, John. Do you have any kind of paper? Like I don't actually use this myself, though. I think it's cool, but I don't use it. Do you use any kind of like management system like this, or you just have like a file box somewhere?
I strive to, but I don't.
Yeah. I think that ultra flame retardant on the chat. He's like, yeah, I've got paperless running, but I never put documents into it. I feel like that's the same thing I have the problem with. It's kind of like me trying to figure out, like, I have it and I like it, but I have to force myself to use it. I have to force myself to make it a habit now to use the features of it and just kind of get used to changing the way that I do things to actually take advantage. This is a great container. I just don't take advantage of it the way that I should. John, have you upgraded your ROM yet? Have you started playing with the new one?
I have not. That is one of our Discord users that hosts it, and I just contribute to it.
Okay. The new one apparently does missing games admin page, smart collections, and they have an experimental iOS app. That's gonna be fun. That's kind of the big news.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's gonna be cool for mobile people that want to be on mobile and do this kind of stuff. I think that's gonna be a huge strength if they can get this thing up off the ground. So that might be something we have to cover in the future in the event that we have some people working with iOS that actually really like what they're doing. God, do I wish this worked. Ribbit has got to be the prettiest. This was built by a guy who does UI professionally, and it's a replacement for Umami. This is web analytics. Absolutely stunning. Like, absolutely stunning. Really, really clean. The problem is it's a nightmare to get it deployed because you have to have it on its own VPS, basically, which is dumb. I've begged these guys to do just a much more simple Docker Compose file, and that's not the case. They just refuse. It's just... because this is built by a UI guy, he's like, I got it working, like, I'm not going to change it. And I'm like, that sucks because I really want to use this because it's amazing. But if you have, we're going to say, like, look how cool this is. Look how amazing. This is great. Like, this is what I want my web analytics to look like. But not complaining about Umami. Umami's amazing. Like, I use it a lot and I think it's great, but this is just over the top. Look at that. Really, really clean. So if you guys have your own VPS and you want to do that, I strongly recommend it. I think it's, in my opinion, probably one of the best ones out there for web analytics for people hosting their own stuff. Look at the star history right there. Amazing. Oh, I gotta start doing this. So I also got more involved with Racknerd. Racknerd right now is the one that I have the affiliate links for on the website. I want to start doing more stuff with Racknerd. I was doing a lot with AWS and they're crazy expensive. The Racknerd stuff that I have on the site and that people have been using and actually given me some feedback for, Racknerd gives you like a $10 a year VPS. $10 per year. So it's less than $1 a month. So I think that's like something I'm going to start leaning more into so I can start doing more VPS like stuff that I'm playing with and just doing things like this and demoing them for the channel. Because before, spinning up AWS ones are cool, that's fine, but like AWS is 10 billion times more expensive than that. So I want to start doing more stuff with Racknerd, I think. I'm excited about it. John, I don't know if we can even talk about this. This is something that got bolted on to Jellyfin to do some really cool things with people who post their DVD backups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
Let's jump over here and take a look. So this is a bolt-on package for Jellyfin for anybody that doesn't know about this. And we should have a lot of Jellyfin people out there. I really love Jellyfin a lot. I'm a huge fan. So
he's a huge fan, but he only uses Emby.
I use Emby because somebody gave it to me. Like if somebody hadn't bought Emby for me, I'd be on Jellyfin. And like I kind of like the idea of running both side by side sometimes, because maybe I want to do different like organization in Jellyfin, or maybe I want to share it differently. Like that's kind of something I like more of. But this is a great bolt-on for it. And obviously you see the features here. There's a lot of really, I think, functional things that this gives you. I'm curious if anyone on there, yeah. I want people on the chat to kind of chime in here if you're using this, because this is not something I've set up yet and we haven't done any demos on it, but like this is something that I maybe probably should for the Patreon channel. How difficult is this? And they got 2 different apps, which is great. And it's pretty heavily developed. Look at the star history in this. I always like to see it. I love to see the huge amount of development, 27 releases over a long period of time. This is a very active repo, obviously, so this isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This is exactly the kind of thing that like is amazing. Yeah, I'd be really curious to see what people think about this. But I like it. I like the continued. I want more people to put more time into Jellyfin because I think it's gonna. Since Plex changed their rules, which is just incredible to me. That's the thing. And John is a dead Plex user. I know you love it, John.
Not a dead Plex user, bro. You're lying on my name. I know you
love it. I know you love it.
It's not that I love it. It's that it's the only one out there that has a native application that works on like pretty much every TV. I recommend and I give people that want to watch Plex, that is family or friends, to download it through a Fire Stick or on their TV, and it's the only one that's on there. As soon as Jellyfin decides that it needs to put an app on the majority of those platforms without needing to sideload it, then I'll switch.
I think
I'm trapped.
I think it's on a majority of these.
It's not. I'm telling you. I look.
It's not on Fire Stick? That's crazy.
It's not. You have to sideload it.
That's so dumb. That's so dumb. How old is this? Where's this form from? Oh my God, this is from forever. Well, it's from 2024. It's about a year old.
And then a lot of even with like the TVs.
Oh, the TVs are a nightmare.
It's on for Tizen OS. Plex is on there, and some people just don't want a Fire Stick.
Yeah, no, I run the Fire Stick, and I get that.
And there's just no real good alternative to that stuff. The best one out there is the NVIDIA Shield. And that's like
it's $200.
I don't think it's that much. I could be wrong, but
no, it's expensive.
It's like 10 years old.
Yeah.
That's old.
Yeah, that's a challenge. So I get that. That's a big problem. I'm lucky because MB is more paid than obviously Jellyfin's 100% free. MB paywall some stuff. Oh, so StreamyFin is on most devices. I'd be curious about that. Anyway, because MB's paid. Every single TV I've ever messed with has an MB app. It's on all the sticks as far as I know. Now, compatibility is a different story. Sometimes older TVs have trouble, but like when I say older, I mean like TVs that are older than 5 or 6 years. Anything in like the last 5 years, anything in the 2020s should have an MB app by default. That's one of the other things that I kind of like about it. I'm in the same boat that John is. If I want to share, MB is super easy to install and set up for people that are not really good with tech. I wish Jellyfin was a little bit better because it's obviously not up to par with MB, and nothing is going to be what Plex is, because Plex has just got this huge move. I mean, the problem is, again, like, I've got nothing against Plex until they went and did the things they did recently. Then I'm like, I absolutely cannot support this product anymore. But for everybody that's already on Plex, I think you guys are all just kind of stuck because like your whole ecosystem is now Plex, and now like you all are just like, it is what it is. Like that's it. That's it. Let's jump through.
For new software, the one that I saw, Conjure,
you like this? Oh yeah, because Tautilli, because of course you're a Plex. So yeah, if you're not a Plex person, then this is not gonna jump off the page at you. But yeah,
I'm pretty sure a lot of Jellyfin has stuff that's like this.
What exactly is this doing? It's an AI recommendation tool that uses Tautilli Watch to recommend. Yeah, we've covered a bunch of AI recommendation tools. And like we covered a couple. I think one of them was in the top 10. The last one, like Recommender. So anyway, if you guys go to the wiki, I'm going to actually show you guys here. Let's do a quick shameless wiki plug.
Yeah. This is the only one I've seen that integrates with Tautilli.
Yes, that's true.
Tautilli, it's getting the same thing as Plex, but if people for some reason don't want it to integrate with Plex.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah. You want to know an easy way to know if something's new? Evan?
Oh yeah.
You add a new tag to it, buddy.
So yeah, don't listen to John. John is half in charge of this, and he just yells. John just yells at me. That's his job here. If you guys want to know what John does besides editing the YouTube videos, it's yelling at me for doing things like not putting these little new tags here. See these little new tags? John makes sure they go in there, and I just completely ignore them. I never tell him when I put up new pages. It drives him crazy. I just get all the caps when he messages me in Discord. Just not everything in caps. Yeah. Anyway, a few of these. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. So like Recommender does this. It's based on your existing libraries, which is cool, and it uses AI. So Recommender is one of those that does that, And I think Suggester does it too, but I got to double check because again,
Yeah.
some of these.
There's a lot that are out there that do kind of what this is already doing. It's just a different way of connecting it if you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this. I like the ones that I specifically like the ones that do it like this. Like they're user activity on your media server. So it looks at what you're looking at because there's a bunch of ones on here too that just do recommendations based on like, oh, like TMDB or like what's popular. But like, I want the ones that are like, hey, I saw you watch this, so you'll probably like that. Like those are the ones that are really great. And especially if they build AI into it. Now you've got me. You have me at hello. So there's a couple of them like on here. So if you guys haven't checked out the wiki, go to the media discovery section under media management. And you'll see all the media discovery tools down here. You can go ahead and just click into them and take a look. Conjure. So Conjure is another one of these two. Again, integrates with Autility. So we haven't done this yet, and the problem is because I don't use Plex. Everybody on this channel that uses Plex and like watches this, I'm sorry because you guys are probably like, there's so much cool Plex stuff out here. Why isn't it covered? Because I don't use Plex, so I don't have a ton of ways to do that.
A lot of like the big videos on about Jellyfin. So I think you're wrong. I think a lot of people like Jellyfin more.
Yeah, we're gonna say. I feel like Plex is well,
there's a lot more people searching Jellyfin than searching Plex. A lot more.
Oh, this is
like
cool.
A big amount. Cron Master.
You like that? Hold on.
Yeah.
We've got an interface. Oh, you saw the word interface. That's why it gets Gon's all hot and bothered.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see it. Oh, wow. Oh, does this show all the content? Hold on here. Hold the phone. Can this do multiple servers at once? Because if it can, then we're gonna have a conversation about this. Hold on. I gotta read more. Now I have to read. All right. Docker supports entire script manager, content management. Yeah, okay. This is in this way. Host name. Can I do this on multiple systems? That's my first question. All right. So if I Dockerize it, okay, this looks pretty straightforward. Of course, it needs a ton of permission here. Docker compose. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have a talk about this. So what I need, if you're I need the developer of this to jump on this live stream right now and give me the ability to do this on multiple systems and give me one unified interface, because that's gonna be baller if I can get that. This is like, I have to do this on every single system and then log on to each system individually, which is probably gonna be fine because I actually do have quite a few cron jobs running on some of my other servers. But man, would I love to manage that from one central window, just the cron jobs. Like that would be absolutely insane. This is just a nice little interface to begin with. Like, look at all the cool performance metrics I get. Like this alone is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Flag that for later. That's gonna be.
I did. Don't worry, I got you, buddy.
That's the other thing that John does. He spams the Trello board with just random stuff that I'll probably never get to. So
I give you guys content. You're welcome.
Oh my god!
I gave you the notifier video. You're welcome.
Yeah, you also definitely thank John for that, because I can't tell you how hard I pushed that. You would have never gotten that if it wasn't for John being like.
A couple weeks ago, someone asked what my role is, and I'm pretty sure I replied with yes.
That's the right answer. That's absolutely the right answer. I think before John got on this channel, there was 800 subscribers. I think it's when John got involved. I think we're at like 9,300 or something like that right now. I was definitely on a path of mediocrity until John was like, this can be better. Like, you must be an old person who's never used YouTube before. I was like, yes, that's correct. I've never done this before. He's like, it shows. It's obvious. John does the great. Oh, by the way, too, if anyone doesn't know about this, some internal fun stuff here. If anyone's ever seen like Talladega Nights, that one scene when in the like very beginning, first 20 minutes of the movie, Will Ferrell's like, with all due respect, and it's like someone's like, you can't just say what you want because someone you say with all due respect, and it's like the heck it doesn't. I absolutely can say what I want. That's what John does to me. Like, I don't mean to be mean, bro, but like, here's a whole bunch of mean comments about what you're doing. And like, but I don't want to be mean. I'm like, I just got Ricky Bobbied. Like, with all due respect, like, your YouTube videos are awful. These can be better. That's what goes on with this channel behind the scenes, for anyone who doesn't know. I feel like I actually am really glad that John doesn't live close enough to me to the point where he can just drive over and yell at me. Otherwise, this would just be another version of Linus Tech Tips. Like, we would just be shenanigans behind, like, in the studio. We'd have a float plane just full of John pranking me all day with the ridiculousness of how terrible this channel is. Or was originally. It's getting better.
GG requests. It looks like, kind of like ROMs. It's G. So you gotta scroll up.
Where are you?
It looks like ROM, but it's just the competitor.
Really?
Well, it's kind of different because it's got a discovery system. It kind of looks the same, but it would be interesting.
I wonder how mature this platform is. I'd be curious to see that, because the one thing about ROM is obviously you can stream in the browser and do it all right there. Like this is, I see requests here, but how do I actually go about doing it?
Yeah, this would definitely be a Patreon video.
Oh yeah, yeah. Again, if you were here, if you missed the beginning of this live stream, we'll tell you all about why YouTube is not a safe place anymore. This is not a safe place to share. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
It sucks. We've never really openly talked about this. But I mean, the Patreon has a reason, and obviously now the cat's out of the bag. If anyone didn't know, like we can release Patreon content for free. But we think, what is it, $5 for the membership?
Oh yeah,
$3 per video.
Yeah, it's
we think. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we price it at $3 a video right now, but it's $5 for the monthly. You can do more if you want, if you just want to support the channel. But I'm gonna tell you guys, for anyone that's like $5 and I could watch it on YouTube for free, no, you can't. YouTube won't let me host it, and hosting it to Patreon is a little bit different, which is the reason that we have it paywalled. Some stuff I choose to release for free, but like I'm gonna tell you what you're getting for $5. And I tell people this all the time. Someone's like, "Should I subscribe to Patreon?" I'm like, "Here's what you should do: pay your $5 one time. It goes to support the channel. Download all the videos if you want. Watch them all. There's like 30 something on there, and I release a video I try to do a video every single week for Patreon. So there's constantly new content in there. So if you do choose to subscribe for that $5, you are going to get a constant stream of content that's too cool to release on YouTube. So that's kind of is what it is.
Yeah, and then Evan might be upset about this, but you can just download so you pay the one-time, download all the videos, and then never need to subscribe again until the catalog gets built up again.
Yeah, no, that's actually what I recommend people do. Like I'm not going to even sugarcoat it. Like I don't see a purpose. The benefit is if you're seeing a lot of content that you would watch constantly, then $5 is kind of a good thing. Because at $3 a video, like there's only a few videos on there that I think a lot of people have bought for $3. For $5, you're going to get basically 4 new videos per month every single month. So that would be $12 if you bought them individually. So it's kind of a benefit to do 5. But as John said, you can do 5 every 6 months. Like do 5 once on like January, then do it again in June, and just download all the videos. Like that's it. You end up for $10 a year, get every single video on the channel. It's totally worth it. The videos that go up there are awesome because they're all sorts of topics that I can't cover. Plus, I do everything with real data. When you watch the YouTube stuff, you'll always see my TrueNAS test instance. On the Patreon channel, it's my real TrueNAS. It's my real data. It's my actual one that I'm using in production right now. So I kind of like that more because when you see it with data, sometimes I think it makes more sense because you can see the way that things function when I'm actually using it. Like I show real life examples of how to do stuff, not just like it could look like this, and when you do it and you have your data, it'll look like this for you. Like it's for me, it's a lot more interactive because it's a lot more real.
Yeah, and then also with. If you don't want to do the Patreon, that's completely fine. You can still go to the wiki. We don't block access to the wiki. Those guides that go up on Patreon are still completely free.
Yeah, that's true. So that is true.
You want to just read text, by all means, go ahead and do that.
That's how this started. John hates that too. John's not a reader. I was just kept talking to John about this the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, no one reads anymore." I'm like, "Well, you know what? Like." That's how this channel got started, was me just doing a lot of stuff that nobody wanted to read. It was like, make the video. So here we are. Now we have a YouTube channel, and I get yelled at by John weekly. But yeah, all of the tips and tricks you're going to see in Patreon are for free on the wiki. Everything I do is documented there. So you don't even have to pay for anything. You just follow the guide. It works. It's all up there. I wonder if there's anything else here I want to cover in. Oh, this is cool. I don't know how many people out there using Pangolin. But now they make an iPhone version for it, which is great. That's awesome. I know a lot of people. Pengulin's been talking. A lot of people have been talking about Pangolin on the site. I think somebody on Discord was recently just making a lot of noise about this because they were running a self-hosted game server, and of course you can't do that with Cloudflare, and they didn't want to expose their IP, and I get that. For security reasons, you don't want to do that. So like if you are comfortable with exposing your IP, you can just do a regular Cloudflare unproxy DNS entry, but that's going to point people directly at your public IP, and he didn't want to do that. So Pangolins really the only other option at that point if you don't want to be paying for like a there's another service that you can pay for that does it. I think it's like playit.gg or something like that. Pangolin is like the self-hosted version of Cloudflare tunnels, and it works with gaming servers. So that's one of the cool things there. The person just asked for Trick, any other perks for Patreon? No, Patreon right now is basically just a video platform that we use for stuff that we can't do with YouTube. So
that's not true.
Bob, what, you think there's more perks than that on Patreon?
Yeah. You get Discord role.
Yeah, look at that. I forgot. John built in Discord integration with that. I forgot about that. Yes, that is true.
That is honestly worth the $5 a month if you're gonna ask me. Just saying.
Oh my god.
Saying.
Yeah.
Newsletter.
More Plex stuff.
This was cool. I would like to see if Jellyfin has any
on Livestream. Let's see.
I would love to see if Jellyfin had something like this. It looks like it collects all the like watch history and provides like a newsletter for what like everyone's watching. So if you have like a big library with a lot of people watching, then you could just ship out a newsletter. That's cool. Yeah.
I like that. I need UIs.
Yeah, I would like to see if Jellyfin has anything like that.
Yeah, they mentioned Conjure here too, which is funny. Recommendation post, all without leaving the browser. This is really, I kind of like that. It reminds me of like, my wife uses Spotify. I'm a Pandora guy, but she gets like the Spotify year-end summary. She loves those things. Like the year-end, like this is what you've listened to for the whole year. Like your most popular content. She loves like the Spotify summaries. This kind of reminds me of that. This is actually very cool. I wish they would show you an example of like, hey, this is what it looks like when you run it, but I get kind of why.
Well, it might just be an end to just share an email, but it would be nice to show like the email and what it looks like.
Absolutely, I would love to see that.
Because it might not have a dashboard.
Yeah, I expect it wouldn't, but even if it doesn't, like I would definitely like here's the newsletters, the license. This is very cool. I'm actually glad you pointed this out.
And then Poony. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right.
Oh, is this going to be the new Wizard? Yeah, so a second, I'll just double check.
It looks... I don't think there's anything else like this for Jellyfin.
Wizard.
No, for Jellyfin. I think, isn't Wizard just for Plex?
Wizard works on all three. It's all three platforms.
Oh!
Yeah, inspired by Wizard. Okay, I built my Spring Boot Angular. So the Wizard just got an overhaul too, and I like it. It's a lot better now. Again, can we see a picture? You have a picture for me here? Picture. Documentation. Let's check you out. Anything else in here? All right, so we have a roadmap here. Light dark mode would be nice if it was already done, but that's cool. All right, let's take a look and see if we can get some documentation here. Okay, getting started. Got it.
I'm still gonna add it.
Of course you are.
Hey, showing competition's good.
It is good. I'm not mad about it.
Sparks innovation.
I just wish, again, it would save me a lot of time on the install if I can just see what it looks like. Because now I have to install this whole thing just to see it. Oh, yeah, I like it though. Oh, this is someone's running their own GitLab too. Yeah, I wish I could see some kind of, and there's not even anything on here, even on this, like no screenshots here, welcome pages, nothing. Come on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to install this and take a look, because I actually use Wizard right now. Wizard is another one of those things on Patreon that I can't show on YouTube. So this will probably end up being a Patreon video, but even so, if anyone ever does invites, if you need to add users to your server, I like the invitation system a lot, especially with Wizard, because it gives me like these really cool onboarding pages. So for people who don't understand how to use it, like how do I get it? Like now, like how do I get on it? Like I just send them the link from Wizard, and not only do they get to make their own username and password, but then they get to actually like read the instructions for how to like do it. And like that makes my life easier. I just repeat myself way less. And I like that a lot. This is definitely something I have to flag.
And then think I'm saying that right?
Susu.
Yeah, sure.
Or another finance app. Yeah. You ever heard of like a sous chef? Yeah. This is a French.
Oui.
Yeah. I was just in France. It was great. I had crepes this morning. Tutu, simple local first expense tracker. Show me the money. Look at that. It's nice.
Pretty.
It is. And it kind of reminds me. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Dumb Budget, but again, there's so many budgeting things out there. I'm so mad that maybe that went the way they went, because maybe it was like my number one recommendation. Now I kind of need a new one for people. This might be. I'm gonna have to look into this and see if I can recommend this. Also, I want to know what's up with people using Codeberg. Is this because Microsoft dumped Git? We're going to talk about that later, because I'm sure that came up in one of the newsletters. Microsoft, well, the GitHub people left. GitHub is now, it was bought by Microsoft forever ago, in case people don't know this. And then Microsoft pretty much let them keep doing their own thing. The leadership at GitHub stepped down. So now Microsoft has completely absorbed that into the Microsoft brand. So I think people are freaking out. I don't know, but like, I don't think there's going to be a huge change. I did not like the fact they were bought out by Microsoft, but like, dude, seeing GitLab and Codeberg, this is like the third thing I've seen on Codeberg. I don't even know why this is now all of a sudden coming up in popularity. I'm thinking maybe that's it. I don't know.
I am working on, I mentioned a project, Cobblemon. That's a Minecraft mod for Pokemon, and it's going to be a Cobblemon MMO. And that is for Johto. If anyone's interested in Pokemon. And when we were discussing where we're going to be storing all of our code for our coders to take a look at, there was a not insignificant amount of people that brought this up about us probably not needing to, or shouldn't be going to GitHub instead. So yeah, it's something. I'll link the channel to the video that's going to that discuss this if anyone's interested in looking at that. Give me 1 second. We can continue.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because Void is another Jellyfin app coming in here. This is a streaming client for Jellyfin. All looks like by phone. Looks pretty nice. I see a lot of pretty things in here. Oh wow, that's a mess. I'm not doing that. But yeah, no, it's another phone streaming app for a Jellyfin client. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good to have multiple options, but right now it's kind of like the what am I trying to say? It's like the Trello effect right now.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, there's so many
Kanban boards.
Yeah.
To where there's so many right now and they're all thing and no one's really innovating.
Yeah. I get that. Another budget manager, saying the same thing. That's the other thing we have a billion of. We have a billion like Kanbans. We have a billion budget managers. This is not that pretty. I'm not a huge fan of this. I just saw it out there, Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple things on this. Is there anything else we want to hit in here? Recently discovered.
Clean slate.
Calorie tracking without judgment. Really? Why, are you a calorie tracker, John? You're telling me all about the diet you're on right now?
Right now. What do you mean, buddy? What are you trying to say?
I'm just saying I don't think you're on a diet at all.
He's called me fat.
I've never seen John in person, so everybody knows this on this channel, so it's impossible for me to call John fat. I have no idea what he looks like.
He just called me fat.
So John, the reason I know this about John is because I'm a personal trainer on the side, and John has never talked to me about fitness whatsoever. Like whatsoever. I don't even think John exercises like at all.
I do. I have a treadmill that goes under my desk. Thank you very much.
Do you really? Do you stand at your desk and like walk?
I'm standing and walking right now, buddy.
You just sent me a picture of your desk. It doesn't look like there's a treadmill under there.
That was over an hour ago. And that wasn't under the desk.
And
it's also dark in the room.
Yeah, there's a lot of things on there that in that picture that make me think that John doesn't do a whole lot of walking at that desk. So if you guys saw the picture that he sent, like it's definitely looks like.
I'll send you my steps.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at that. Clean slate. Everybody uses MyFitnessPal. I think that's the big one here.
Yeah, getting away from that thing is the best thing a lot of people can do. It is so bad. It's not even that it's bad. It's just that you need to pay for it. They scrape everything, and just when it comes to like medication, anything to do with your body, that's just like one thing you really don't want to like give to a company. Yeah,
it makes me nervous. This is the same problem I have. I have a scale that does like my body fat percentage and all that stuff, and I'm like, man, I really don't like the fat. It's way too. It's I keep that thing offline for the most part. It doesn't get any communication, but there's I don't like the idea of medical data going up like that. I don't think there's anything else.
Decipher.
Do we want to talk about this? Yeah, for real debrid. Yeah, I don't do debrid. I know people do it out there. It's pretty. This is a gorgeous interface. I don't do a whole lot of that. I don't do a whole lot of the real, like, so if anyone out there is doing debrid, like, that's something that we don't get into this channel at all. But this is a really cool way to integrate that with Qubit, and I think that's great for the people that do it. I think it's a very small contingent, I think, in terms of, I think a lot of people are old school and do the same stuff that we do for media management, John. A lot of stuff we cover on this channel. I know some people are more in Usenet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And then some people do this, and this is a very, very small contingent, I think. But yeah, if you use, I want to know about that. If you guys are actually using that, hit us up in the comments. I'm curious to, oh yeah, someone mentioned WGER. I don't even know how it's pronounced, but I've seen that one too. Yeah, happiest, I saw that. That's not bad. I'm not thrilled with it, but it's not terrible either. Yeah, I'm actually old school too. Like when it comes to like my workouts, I give all my clients actual like logbook. I'm not actually tracking anybody through an app. I'm not thrilled with any of the apps out there that do workout tracking, especially across multiple clients. You want to know a good way to make money? There's tons of personal trainers out there that'll probably pay you a monthly fee for a good app that can track multiple, like, and especially if I can communicate with clients through it too. Oh, forget it. Yeah, I think there's a space. Wait, Vega. Okay, cool. That's a weird way to pronounce that word. Anyway, yeah, so if you're out there and you're a developer and you want to make make an app for personal trainers to track their clients and be able to communicate with their clients over the app, that would probably get a whole lot of hits. I think we're good here. John, you want to jump to the next one? Let's go back.
The 15th.
15th it is. Make our way in.
Does anyone need an intermission?
If anyone does, we're going to try and get through some of this quicker. Again, I'm on the East Coast, so like we're eating to my lunchtime. We're going to go through some things here and then. Yeah, here's the GitHub announcement, because I got to eat food soon. But yeah, so they're giving...
You can eat in time and I can talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to eat a whole meal. This would be the longest live stream ever. Yeah, so this is the main article. So this is going into Core AI. So Microsoft's Core AI team is now going to own basically GitHub. And again, when John talked about this before, people getting nervous about that. I get it. I do not know what's going to happen to GitHub. I know one of the guys in my company also runs his own GitLab. Like a lot of people self-host this, and that's fine. You can self-host GitHub. There's nothing wrong with that. I like GitHub, and I like a lot of what it does. If we had to go to a self-hosted version of it, I'd be fine with that. I just kind of like the way GitHub works now, especially how collaborative it is. But yeah, this is not... We're going to see. I personally don't think this is the end of the world, but I'm not a full-time software developer. I'm sure if you are, this might be a real serious problem for you, but Git is the easiest thing to self-host ever. It's not super complicated, and if we all had to go to that, or if we had to go to some other alternative, I don't think it would probably be the end of the world. I think everything would keep going. Yeah, here's the other ones they talk about. This is a self-hosted one. So GitLab is the big one. Gitia is also, and if I mispronounce that again, everybody forgive me. This is like the one that everybody talks about, self-hosting. This is the native app for this on TrueNAS and the apps catalog. So like there's easy, low-hanging fruit to go ahead and switch out. I think GitLab is probably the most famous. That's probably the best alternative. But then again, I'm not a software guy. So if you have software developers here and you're in the chat, please let us know like what you're using and why you use it and why you choose not to use GitHub instead of using like GitLab. I am actually a huge Vault Warden fan. I know that John pays for Bitwarden. I have Vault Warden, but I think it's always cool when they do stuff like this when I see the ability to do SSO in the event that you have multiple users all using your version of... I don't. I'm the only one that uses my Vault Warden, but if you have somebody that's got that, you now have the ability to do SSO and OpenID, which is great. We talked about this before too, the new Z-Wave device for Home Assistant. I know John's a huge home automation guy. I don't do a whole lot of this, but I always like seeing more cool stuff.
Zigbee.
Yeah.
No Z-Wave. Zigbee.
Yeah.
Zigbee.
Yeah.
Oh, the Zigbee. Anyone understands that? Thank you.
Oh my God. Dude, AOL. So AOL's campus is in Northern Virginia, and I used to live near it a while ago. Their campus was huge, and I used to drive by it all the time, and like it's just now like this derelict. I don't even know if anyone rents it because it's got to be like probably 10 acres of buildings. Like it's just this huge thing, man, from back in the day. I remember the first time I ever got internet was with AOL. Like I'm back in like 1990, whatever, maybe early 2000s. AOL used to actually be how I connected to the internet when I was a kid. I think I'm like the oldest person probably on this channel, so I think that no one knows what I'm talking about. But back in the day when you wanted to get online, like before the days of cable modems that were quote unquote just always on, and you would have dial up, like your ISP, like AOL was an ISP, like the way the Verizon and Comcast and Cox are now. AOL was that back then, and back then, like that was like one of the few, if only, options. You would actually have to go in and open up the AOL like piece of software, and then within that you would dial. You'd have to have a modem card in your computer attached to a phone line that couldn't be busy. And if someone called you, got kicked off the internet. And like you would click the connect from like a variety of servers on AOL, and then you'd be online. And then you browse the internet through the AOL software. There wasn't even a separate browser yet. Like that's how early we're talking about. Like before the days of web browsers. Insane.
Have you not seen our age demographic?
No. What is it? It's like what, 30 to 45? I think.
So
40? I don't know what it is.
The biggest is 30% at 35, 44 years old.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you're in there. You're in that group, buddy.
I was actually encouraged one time. I think one time I was stumbling. I was just looking around YouTube because again, I don't know what I'm doing. John does all this stuff. For anyone who doesn't know how this works, John pretty much teaches me how to use YouTube as I need to learn things. But I remember poking around one time and seeing like, hey, who's watching? And it turned out it was basically me. It's like 29 to 34, or like, 30 to 39-year-old white dudes who are in tech full time, like 0% female, like almost 0% minorities, unfortunately. Like it was crazy. Like there was almost nobody on this channel except for white middle-aged dudes like me. Like that was like the last time I checked the demographics.
We have 0.6% female. All right?
If you're a female on this channel, please text me. I want to know who you are and what you're doing here. I'm dying to know that.
0.6.
That's insane. Right? That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I didn't think we had any females at all. One of the interesting things I found out actually is I was looking at the wiki traffic. The wiki gets the second most traffic. I think the YouTube channel gets the most traffic. We get like between like 4,000 and 5,000 hits a month on YouTube. I get about another 2,500 or 2,800 on the wiki per month. The wiki traffic is majority international, and I couldn't believe that. We have more people visiting the wiki from outside the US than we do in. I don't know what the Discord metrics are, but I know there's a bunch of Aussies on Discord. I know there's a lot of people coming in from Europe, like a lot of people. One of our helpers, Tom Tech, he's out of Netherlands. We've got people all over the place. Usually when someone's talking to me on Discord, they're not in the time zone I'm in. It's actually a rare case that someone talks to me from East Coast time. But yeah, no, that was the thing that kind of hit me, John. I was like, man, we actually have a ton of international people on this thing. That kind of caught me off guard. I was not prepared for that.
Well, a lot of people also are probably accessing through a VPN.
Could be true, but the people I talk with on Discord though are definitely in the time zones they tell me they are. That's understandable. But yeah, no, maybe the wiki thing is VPN traffic. That could be true. But I don't know why. Maybe that's my question though. If you're coming through a VPN traffic, why are you choosing to exit in like Norway? Like, why would you choose to exit in some of those, in Australia? I don't know why you would choose to exit in those countries. That would be weird. I don't know. I definitely get you don't want to exit in the United States. I get that, but like, I don't know, maybe Canada, Western Europe. This was like, I tell you what, Sam Altman can do nothing right. He's like, I have zero faith in that man in the helm of Reddit. Reddit is such a huge deal. And now, of course, with people scraping AI, like that's like a whole thing now. So Reddit didn't want, if you don't know what's going on here, Reddit doesn't want people to be able to scrape its data over the Reddit like interface. So AI companies used to actually go to my wife is here. Look at this cat. My cat just got back and my cat's tail doesn't look normal. Apparently, I told him the wrong thing.
Some googly eyes for some tail.
Anyway, so Reddit didn't want people to scrape direct. Didn't want AI to scrape directly from Reddit, so they said, "Hey, we're not going to allow that anymore." And then AI companies just went to the Wayback Machine. If you've never heard of the Wayback Machine, it's just an internet archiver that allows that basically archives the entire internet every single day if it can. It's just a really cool site. So AI companies are like, hey, let's just go ahead and go from the Wayback Machine. It'll work just fine. It's the same data. And Reddit is now blocking the Wayback Machine so that AI companies can't scrape that either. And I'm like, this is getting out of control. Yeah, this is getting out of control, and I was like, man, I think with the AI scraping, I get that. A lot of people are like, I don't want AI like going through my stuff, and I completely understand that from companies, but like now we're blocking other parts of the internet that are actually useful. The Wayback Machine, the Internet Archive is a great project. I am not happy with the fact that people want to start blocking them. They're kind of necessary. They do a good thing for us. Ooh, what is this? I didn't see anything about this. More Plex stuff. Plex Media Service time drop. Quality patch security update. Version 1.41.7 through 1.42 are vulnerable. The newly released build 1.42.1.10.060 or later contains the fix. I didn't realize there's a big bug like that. I always like to see the security stuff go up and make sure people are updating. John, I'm curious, how are you updating your stuff? Because somebody was actually on the Discord the other day asking about updates, and I always tell people Watchtower, but are you actually using Watchtower?
Right now, a lot of my stuff is on the TrueNAS app catalog, so okay. I just click the update all button.
How often do you do that? Because I was actually just on your server, and I saw like 3 or 4 of them. So
because they're offline. And if they're offline, you can't update them.
Yeah, which is one of the things I don't like about TrueNAS, and that's another thing too. Because even with something like Dockage running, or something like, well, it has to be on Dockage in this case. It can't be through the apps catalog, but anything running on Dockage or anything running on normal Docker and not the apps catalog from TrueNAS, if you have Watchtower can update stuff that's turned off, which is cool because when you turn it back on, you're turning back on an updated version, not one that's out of sync. And that's one of the things that kind of bothers me, I think, about TrueNAS is the fact that when I have something that's turned off, I can't update it, and I have to turn it on to update it. Maybe I don't want to do that. Maybe I don't want to turn it on, but I do want it to be updated, and that kind of bothers me. But yeah. Also, John, update your server. I just was working with John's server like right before this call, and it's still on like 24. No, you're on 25.1, I think, but it needs to be updated.
And are there any security fixes?
I don't think the security is fixed for the update.
Yeah.
No.
Do we not remember the issues that I've had not so long ago?
Yeah, that's true.
Do you think I really want to go through another pain right now?
I mean, it's probably you're partially making it my pain, but yeah, no, I get that.
No, I mean, hey, if that's what you want.
Yeah. Okay. Let's jump here real fast. I want to make sure I saw this. The LibreOffice just updated. That's not helpful. That's not helpful at all. That was useful. Is this really not anything? Cool. Okay. They just updated OnlyOffice. I don't use OnlyOffice. I use LibreOffice, but I know a bunch of people out there do use OpenOffice. And if you do, that's cool. It's just another option. Another option. Options are always good. All right, let's jump into the updates. Yeah, too fast. I have a new mouse and the scroll wheel is super sensitive. I gotta like crank this thing down.
If you pay Evan, he will fix your server.
That's true. That's an actual Patreon. That's something I do offer. If you jump in the Buy Me a Coffee page, there's literally
Oh yeah, my bad. It's not Patreon. Yeah.
I think it looks like this. I don't even know my own address. Am I right? I'm right. Look at that. I gotta memorize this stuff more. So if you come down here to the shop, here's some more shameless plugging. We actually have a t-shirt. I'm the only one that owns one right now, so no one cares. The server configuration is actually what sells. This is something that is kind of common because I don't have a ton of time. This is not my full-time job. So a lot of people want one-on-one time with me, and I tell them, hey, I don't do one-on-one calls for hours at a time, for free. I have a full-time job. So this is the option here for one-on-one time. And I've done this with a number of people. It works really well. We just do a screen share. I walk them through some stuff. And if you need help fixing something, you need help getting something set up that's really just bothering you and you're just fed up with it and you're like, do it for me. This is that. We sell hardware here through this as well. So if anyone's like, hey, I want to do this, but I don't even have a server, I don't even know where to get a server, I don't know how to build a server, I'll build you one and just send it to you. And then we can talk about setting it up. I usually do a lot of pre-configuration, but if you want me to send you just blank hardware and you want to do it all yourself, that's cool. But the server configuration one is just super easy. Come in here and add it to the cart, and then I'll talk to you on Discord and we'll talk about what it is that you want to do. But I think like 3 people this month alone have jumped on this just because like the complexity of the containers that we're adding and some of the other things that we're doing, some people are just like, hey, I also have a full-time job and I don't have all day to figure this out, and I don't want to go through all the, just do it for me. I'm like, cool, like buy this and I'll do it for you. And that's how we do it.
Yeah, to understand how Evan is, he tried doing this through Google Meet for the first time.
I don't see what is that. What's the problem? No, what's the problem with that?
Just do it through Discord. It's easier.
I do it through Discord now, but yeah, that's
I know, because I corrected you.
Yeah, again, everybody should thank John. If John should have his own Buy Me a Coffee on this channel for all the work that he puts in. Everybody should be supporting John more heavily because he puts up with me.
The reward I need is making you. That's it.
He's such a good guy. All right, let's jump down here. Oh my God.
I'm in it for the people.
All about the people. I don't even see anything. Oh, sync thing updated.
Honestly, the only thing that I really saw was like PyDash.
On this whole, for the new software, I'm looking at the updates.
Yeah.
Breaking release? Anything breaking here? All right, hold on. I don't think I see breakings. A lot of people use Sync. This is a hugely popular application. If you don't use Sync Thing, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Sync Thing just basically keeps 2 folders and 2 different computers synced. So if I have Sync Thing running on my laptop and one on my desktop, and I change something on the folder on the laptop, it'll automatically change it on my desktop for me. It just keeps everything literally in sync. That's why it's called Sync Thing. Great container. A lot of people use it for a ton of different reasons. And again, it doesn't work with 2 endpoints. It could work with many endpoints. It can work with 50 if you want. It makes no difference. You can install Sync Thing on all of them, have it go 1-way push, 2-way push, all that kind of cool stuff. So it does a bunch of things here. And this is a big update. There's a lot of things here. Yeah, I'm not going to go through all this. But yeah, as you use Sync Thing, this is obviously a big release for them. Going all the way to the version 2.0. Just really, and they've released a bunch of just minor fixes since then. So they were on 2.03 already. When was 2.0? Wow. Yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff. So this is 2.0 was last week, and in the last week they've already done 3 updates to that. So this is a very active container right now in terms of making sure they get it right. Love Sync Thing. If anyone's out there using it, again, let me know.
Sync Thing was another one of those votes that Evan didn't want. You're welcome.
Let's keep going. All right. This is another thing I've mentioned twice. This is the reason that we went backwards. More Kanban stuff. Come on.
It looks okay.
Oh, this is actually better. Yeah, this looks good.
It looks okay.
This looks better than okay. This actually looks good.
Yeah, I could agree with you.
The question is, can I do notifications with it?
I mean, I just heard Evan say he wanted that added to the list.
I didn't say that. I just said it looks good. All right, let's keep it going.
What do you guys think?
Keep it moving here. No one comment. I'm turning off comments. Homepage project. No homepage like that. Car dashboard. What is this? Random
It looks so bad.
Does it?
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Scroll down.
Oh, it get worse?
I'm sorry, developer. It's just it doesn't. If this is your thing, perfect. This is personally not a car guy, so this is not my thing.
I am a car guy, and this is not good. This is. Hold on. Oh wait, there's a lot of versions. This is the latest version. Let's look at the newest one they've got right here. Oh wow. John, thoughts?
It's not for me. It's not that it's not good. It's not for me.
Okay, got it.
I retract my words.
Oh my God. All right. PyDash. So Dash manager for monitoring Pi-hole instances. How many instances of Pi-hole would someone be running that they would need a dashboard to manage?
Well, what if they're managing someone else's home of Pi-hole?
I mean, maybe. Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting.
You know, you have your whole family set up to running Pi-hole, so you're protecting your family.
It's all about the kids, right? You have to protect the children. Yeah, this is good. I mean, this is pretty simple. Like, this is not bad.
Yeah, I like it. That's all it needs to be.
Yeah, it does. It is doing exactly what it needs to do and nothing more, which should be the ethos of everyone that develops software.
And then PT bot was cool.
Did you like that? Discord powered remote control for pterodactyl. Okay. What would this do? Go ahead, says where it lets you manage your pterodactyl service directly from Discord. Dude, this is like a thing too, and I've noticed this. A lot of people like to manage things through Discord or through like a chat app. I never understood that. Like, If you're one of those people out there that's doing that like sends a message to do something, make your server do something, please tell me what it is you're doing and why you want to do it that way. I'm just curious.
It's just you want everything in one place. And if I'm already using Discord to like message everyone, and if I can manage everything there, then it's all in one place. I don't have to leave the app. It gives me notifications, so I don't have to set up any other notification system.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I've never been. I said I'm old. I'm just never been that guy. I've never seen the purpose of doing that. But there's so many things that do like Discord control stuff, and I'm like, that's just like, I'm amazed. Like Discord is like, if you wanted to, you could probably manage your whole life through Discord. You would never use a web UI or anything. You just integrate everything with Discord.
Yeah, if I had to choose between a web UI and something that's integrated with integration, ship up. This looked interesting. This is kind of like Kanban, but like not. It's got a demo. It looks interesting. So this is like for development.
Yeah, I want to watch
it looks pretty interesting. It's got a cute name.
This kind of reminds me of like so GitHub has a Kanban and it like integrates like, I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of this.
Demo.
Yeah. All right, so
it looks nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what
the animations are solid.
It is. Yeah, this builds on a good back end. So one of the newsletters.
It's got a GitHub at the bottom, or a GitHub link.
And then
so that's two. It's GitHub.
Yeah, we're just. Okay.
I thought maybe you could attach your own GitHub to it. Yeah. That could be interesting.
Yeah. So what is so if I just move this, is it like create like an automatic? If I share the update.
Yeah, it does look like Notion, but to where this is like its only focus. I could see this scene.
Yeah, this is interesting. 'Cause I don't use Notion. I've never used it before, but like I'll be like, how do I? Yeah. Okay. So I can do a newsletter.
Because then all I have to do is set this up on my server and then share this with all the developers.
Yeah, interesting.
Rather than trying to coordinate them downloading Notion or getting on the Notion page and all that stuff. All I have to do is just give them a URL and that's it. And then, you're still looking at that. I like that dark mode. That's nice.
And that dark mode was nice. That was really nice.
Tidy.
I wouldn't recommend this only because like the media naming should be done through the R suite because like
I
don't know.
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up because I don't understand where this comes in. Why? So innovation's good, but at what point does this become better than like Sonar or Radar? It's interesting for sure, but I don't understand where this comes in rather than what you're already doing with Sonar and Radar.
I'm guessing it's for someone who doesn't have that because like if you're not using that's a big platform. It's kind of like a learning curve for media management, but I would definitely not recommend this because there's very specific things you have to do with the naming scheme to get the metadata to work. And so Trash does stuff like that. Profiler does stuff like that. Recycler. There's a bunch, or like Notifier, because John's gonna want me to talk about it because he loves it so much. There's things that you have to do with that to make it work. So that's why I'm like, hey, don't do this. Because if you do this, you might mess up your metadata, and then you're gonna be like, where's all my stuff?
Agree.
Yeah, be careful, guys. Just follow the advice on the wiki. This got a lot. This is interesting. Yeah, follow the advice on the wiki. We have information up there about how to do this stuff to make sure it gets done right. So I'd say stick with that.
Yeah, if it did more than just that, it could be interesting.
Yeah. Nothing else on this. Let's see. Anything else here that jumped out of you, Jump, before we jump to the last one?
No, I didn't see anything.
Jump out to this is the first one that we missed here. Oh yeah, so I want to talk about this. If you're using Proxmox, and I hope you guys are, version 9 got released because Debian 13 got pushed. So for everybody out there in Linux, I know John's going to just glaze over when I talk about this. If you don't know anything about Linux, I'm going to give you a quick, just really 10-second blurb here. The most important thing you need to know about Linux is Debian. Linux is basically a different operating system, and there's other operating systems based off other operating systems. So most things in the Linux world are based off Debian, like TrueNAS. TrueNAS is based off Debian. TrueNAS is basically just a really pretty web UI that somebody built on top of Debian. Pretty, again, I'm giving a lot of credit to these guys. Some people don't like the UI, but anyway, it's built on top of Debian. If you're using TrueNAS, you're using Debian Linux. So when Debian updates, and updates every 2 years, the whole earth shakes in Linux world, because there's like, I don't even know how many different distributions of Linux that are based on Debian. Proxmox and TrueNAS are two of the more famous ones. Proxmox is going to update way faster. TrueNAS will update to Debian 13 probably in 26, probably in Half Moon, not even Goldeye. So it'll be Half Moon before we get an update from that. But Proxmox has already updated to version 9.0, and Backup Server, which is also based on Debian, version 4.0. So I went in and I updated my Proxmox virtual environment and my Proxmox Backup Server. Everything went fine. If you've used Proxmox Backup Server from the wiki and installed it the way I explained to, the update went fine. So just so you know, anyone that's doing that, go ahead and update if you've done the Proxmox Backup Server. You're not going to break anything. I did mine the other day. It was fine, but that was kind of a big deal. If you don't, I talk so much about Proxmox on a little bit. I want to talk about more on this channel because I feel like it's kind of a bigger deal, and I've had repeated requests for more Proxmox content. So we're going to see. The main reason we don't see more Proxmox content is I was doing a lot more before Electric Eel on Dragonfish. So Dragonfish was like the version before 24, so like 23 or 22, it was like 22 point something, whatever, I don't know. But that back then it was using Kubernetes, and I didn't run my Docker containers on that, obviously, because it was all Kubernetes. So you're either using the Kubernetes app catalog through TrueNAS, or you were using something else, and I was using something else. I ran all my Docker containers through Proxmox on an LXC, and that was when I was doing things that are way more complicated by going back and forth like that and having my NFS share pushed to Proxmox, which then mounts inside my LXC. Cool. It was cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's more complicated than we do now. The reason I don't talk about it as much now is because you can run Docker on TrueNAS now. So there's no reason to run both unless you're a big fan of virtualization. I think Docker runs just fine on TrueNAS. I don't have any issues with it. I know people are like, oh, it needs a better UI. Yeah, but it runs, right? You can install Portainer, which looks pretty now. You can install Dockage, looks great. So that's fine. Virtual machines is a different story. Everybody out there that's like talking about Home Assistant OS, like, yeah, I feel your pain, man. Like, I feel everyone's pain trying to do that. That might be a legitimate case where you're like, I want to get a second server, I want to install Proxmox on it, and I'm going to run a Home Assistant OS VM through like the community scripts or through like just a self-built VM, and I'm going to do my PCI pass through that way because it works way better, because it does, because it just does. So I like Proxmox. If you're not experimenting with it, I recommend you play with it. I think it's fun. I run 2 separate servers. My Proxmox server needs a major overhaul. That's going to happen shortly, but right now I'm running it off of a computer I stole out of the garbage. An old Dell Optiplex, like 7030. Nothing crazy. You can run one of these off of like a mini PC, but Proxmox is a big deal. It's one of the other huge operating systems type 1 hypervisors in the space besides TrueNAS that specializes in virtualization, which is the exact soft spot in TrueNAS. So I think they complement each other nicely, because if I look at TrueNAS, I'd say the worst part about TrueNAS is virtualization, and the strongest part about Proxmox is virtualization. So something to think about. I showed you guys the picture of the blog before when we were talking in the very beginning of this, when we talked about YouTube. It's built on Ghost. This is what hosts the Servers at Home blog. Pretty amazing. They went to version 6.0 and now they have these built-in analytics. I use Umami, but if you don't want to use a separate container for analytics, now Ghost 6 has this analytics front built in. You can see it's very nice. One of the reasons I use Ghost. Oh, also, self-host is built on Ghost. By the way, this is also Ghost, in case you don't know that. Really cool. So, yeah, it's a pretty popular platform. If you're not using it and you want to do web hosting for it, we have a wiki page for it. So you can jump on the wiki and go all the way to the web hosting section and find the Ghost container there. I like it a lot. It's pretty straightforward, but they integrated this really cool web app, this web analytics into it now. So you don't even have to run a separate container for it if you don't want to. Oh, this is cool. John, did you see this?
Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. It looks good. Like, actually looks like a UI did it.
Yeah, someone who knows what they're talking about. So I thought it was really cool because like what it says it does. Let's see if I can find this. Okay, so I like the description back in self-hosted, because like here, like this, they seem to be missing the description here. Like it's not very clear what it does. But if I jump back to self-hosted weekly, it'll tell you that it leverages AI for interactive chat via subtitles. So you can say fast forward to the scene where the building collapses, yada yada yada, and it does that. So it's built into it's a bolt-on for Jellyfin that uses AI to let you talk about that. That's really cool, and it talks to you via the subtitle. That's, to me, that's like pretty cool. Yeah, happy. So in terms of moving from WordPress, like I was on WordPress for a while. Ghost is pretty good. I like it. We'll talk more about it, yeah, later. But I got off of WordPress a while ago in favor of Ghost. It's not as customizable. That's the big problem. Like WordPress, you get a ton of customization. Ghost, not so much. So you have to be a little bit more comfortable with the idea of the fact that you're not going to be able to tweak everything you want to tweak. But to be fair, the stock options for the themes are pretty good. So like, again, you guys can check out the blog for servers at home and just see one of the options I have here. And this is just the regular blog. So this is, you're just going to main title across the top. I get this stuff here, and then I get all my stuff down here with this stuff. And you can go ahead and like the number one thing that people look at and that I recommend you look at is going to be, I ran out of SATA ports. This is super important because everybody makes this mistake, I think, where they try and get the PCI expansion card and they don't understand why it doesn't work with their TrueNAS. And I'm like, you can't use one of these cards. So this is like the number one probably blog post that people read, but pretty straightforward, narrow column, integrated pictures. We can do videos. We can do call outs in here. There's all kinds of little additions you can do. I don't have a ton of this built out right now. Like right now, you can't even sign up. I don't have the email hooked up, but if you do have the email hooked up, you can sign up and subscribe to the newsletter and do a whole bunch of other cool stuff. But yeah, I like it. I like that. We do not have a video on Ghost yet, I believe. We just have the wiki article on it. So go ahead and check out the wiki. Yeah, so this is a few weeks ago. So again, this is just when they were talking about the Trixie release for... Oh, this is the other thing that hit the news huge. This is when I started getting a lot of messaging about AI when GPT OSS released their open weight models. John, did you see this? Did you get involved with this at all?
No.
Not many people did because you have to have a decent card. You have to have at least a 3060 to push this. But long story short, when OpenAI first started, they talked about the fact they were going to be open. Like they were going to release a lot of things in the open source market and people were going to get to use them. And they have not done a good job about that. In fact, this is their first release in a while talking about open source stuff. So GPT OSS 120B is the big one. You need a lot of VRAM to run that, but it's supposed to have performance on par with GPT 4.0. So if you were used to be one of the people that paid for GPT 4.0, you can now just run this locally to 120B and get the exact same thing. It's going to give you pretty much the exact same answers with maybe just a little bit of tuning. 20B is the one that people are talking about because you could run this off a 12 gig card or a 14 gig card. So a 3060, which is about a little over $200 on eBay used right now, could run 20B. And 20B is not going to give you on par with like GPT 4.0 or 5, but it's going to give you pretty close, and it'll let you approximate that depending on how much you quantize it. It's pretty good. So this is, if you like the way that ChatGPT responds, if you're a fan of that model, these are the two open source versions of that you can run. Before this, there was not a good open source version. Like you had to find, like Llama 3 would be the closest thing you can get. Getting this directly from OpenAI, and you can see this is openai.com, that's kind of a big deal. Like this is the first release they've done in a while. And again, here you can see what they talk about it. Near parity with 04 mini. 20 gives you 03 mini basically, and just 16 gigs of memory. So very, very attainable numbers. And again, this can also use your system memory. So if you don't have a card that has 16 gigs of VRAM, you can spill some of this over into the CPU and RAM of your system. But this came out and people started hitting me up on Discord almost immediately about it. I thought this, again, I'm trying to get more and do local AI. Somebody just yelled at me on the chat earlier when I was like, I don't know how I feel about local AI. They were like, we need to have a conversation about this. But yeah, so if you're a local AI guy, you probably already know about this because this was weeks ago because we couldn't talk about it until now. All right, let's jump forward. Covered this, covered this. This is going to be huge. I want to see someone, they need to talk about this more. One of the reasons, get out of here. One of the reasons I went to NetBird over Tailscale was because of the number one reason in the beginning was because of the policy editor. Then I found there's a lot of other cool things in that NetBird I like, but Tailscale I think is obviously a more mature product. They've been around way longer. I like what they're doing a lot. I like both of the. It's hard for me to pick Tailscale versus NetBird. Like there's just There's some pros and cons, and I really can't choose. The one thing about Tailscale that really, really, really bothers me is when you go to do ACLs, you have to know JSON, and it's not easy. Now, there's a couple websites that'll do them for you and kick out a JSON file, but like it's when I compare that to NetBird, it's a joke. Like NetBird's is the way it should be. Simple as that. Like everybody should look like the way NetBird does it. So now Tailscale is going to build in a visual policy editor, and we've got some stuff here, and you can see. I thought one of these was a video, but this is basically what they want to do. They want to. Here's the video. So you'd have sources, destinations, tags. You would select your ports and protocols, and you have a note, for example, and it would show you what the JSON is, and you can just copy the JSON out, which is great because like this is the thing that held me back from Tailscale. Was when I started with Tailscale, it's basically an all policy, which means every endpoint can reach every endpoint, and immediately I was like, nope, not doing that. I want to be able to restrict who can reach my computer. And I couldn't do that really easily. In fact, going back and forth with like ChatGPT, I had a real hard time building the ACL for Tailscale to do what I wanted to do because it was slightly complicated. Had zero problems on NetBird, and I'm like, yeah, I'm using this. Same thing, but it's way easier. With this being added to Tailscale or about to be added to Tailscale, this is going to give it a serious leg up in my opinion. I know there's a lot of Tailscale users out there. I'm curious if you guys are a Tailscale user, like what you're doing about your policies. Like how are you building your ACLs? Are you guys just experts with JSON, or are you using an external tool? Or are you just leaving the policy all and just letting everything access everything? I'm just curious because that was a big pain point for me for Tailscale. And this seems to be something that I'm really excited about them changing. John, I know you also, and I know you're using the Wi-Fi man, but I know you have Tailscale too. Do you have any kind of policies built? Are you doing anything special?
It's not installed.
You actually you're sudo running it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I did, but then I stopped after a test that I did with it. It was nice when I used it.
Yeah, I do like it. They're making this easier to integrate now. If anyone's never heard of fail to ban, this is a really important part of home labbing. Fail to ban basically just keeps track of how many people have tried to log on to something, and if somebody has like too many logon attempts in a period of time, it'll just block them. It'll block their IP and they get banned. Fail to ban is a huge part of security. I want it to be better. I want this to be integrated to more things because it is an open source. And I really wish that was the case because like I want fail to ban basically for TrueNAS. Like, that's one of the things I want. Like I want this tool everywhere, and it's just not in enough places. There was a lot of news in the one on the 8th. Anyway, okay, let's get to the updates. What is this? What are you? This is interesting. I've never seen this for Cloudflare tunnels before. It's just manage. I think it just manages tunnels. Yeah. This is kind of cool. This is a very interesting thing for. See, I use the Docker, the Cloudflare UI to build my tunnels, but it seems like it's kind of automated. We're gonna have to come back and take a deeper look at this. It's gonna be hard to demo this, but yeah, that's really cool. I kind of like the idea of like what that is. All right, let's jump and let's keep going. Again, Ghost is covered here. Home Assistant. This is cool. AI tests and suggest with AI integration sub-entries. Uptime Kuma integration. Do you have AI built into your Home Assistant, John?
No.
You're not using any of that stuff?
No, there are a lot of voice assistants that I want to run eventually that do stuff like that, but I'm waiting until I move to do that.
Okay. Is there a move on the horizon for you? Is that why you don't want to go ahead and just do this now?
Yeah, I'm moving in like less than like a month or a year. And so it's a lot of work to go ahead and set all that up and then just need to take it down.
Yeah, I get that. I do. If I have to move out of this house and I have to move my home security system, it's going to be a nightmare and a half. I don't want to have to even think about that now. I have so many things bolted. So many cameras bolted to this house. I'm just going to buy new ones. I'm not even going to lie.
I didn't really. Nothing else really popped out at me. The new software. Nothing really popped out. Like Dock Peak looked kind of interesting. I wish. What's it called? Dockage did what Dock Peak does.
Yeah, I think that would be great if that was the case, because like that's
It's in new software.
yeah. I was looking at this a second ago. Where are you?
What? Did I find something? Yeah, hold on. Hold on. No. Wasn't in new software. I didn't find anything in new software. It was in recently discovered. We can still look through new software, but it's down further. We can still talk about the new software.
Oh yeah, I saw this port. Yeah, this was, and then who did the video on this? Was it DB? DB did the video on this recently. I saw his video.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, DB's got a video out on this already too. This was pretty cool. So we there's another one. Port Tracker was one of the ones that we released in the top 10, I think, video, which is also very similar to this.
Yeah, no, and we're gonna be doing a video about that for sure. It looks cool.
It does look cool. That's one of those fun things. So you didn't see anything in new software. We just do a quick scan real fast. What are you? Oh no, whatever. Pictures. No, okay. I'm always interested in backups. We use TrueNAS. I mean, obviously, backup stuff is not. There's enough backup built in the TrueNAS where I'm like, it's cool. Offline. Can't even talk about that. They make an Android version for this. I did not know that. Companion app. Browse, manage, organize. That's cool. That's not bad. ROMs, we have to do more talking about ROMs. There's a bunch of changes that have been made in the last 3 weeks that like we've kind of let it go. More Uptime Kuma competitors. Yeah. Nothing fun here. No cookbook, tractor. Oh, I think I looked at this before. This is another vehicle management thing.
Yeah, we looked at tractor. That actually looked so much better.
I know, and I didn't actually deploy this because I'll tell you guys, I just bought a new car, so like I should probably get more into this because like now I've got to like, I'm still using Blogger, but I should probably put my new car in this and just do all the new car stuff in that, especially considering I'm pissed. I got a 2024 Civic and I was test driving it and it test drove fine, then I bought it, and then I been driving now for the last week or so, and I definitely feel like the rotors are warped. So I'm like, oh my god, this feels a little. I'm getting too much vibration when I'm like coming to a stop, and it's bothering me. And I'm like, I definitely should probably do the rotor. So I'm like, now, like, went and started looking at stuff. I should gotta put a flag in this to see if I want to deploy, because I might want to put all the new car work that I'm about to do to it in this, just so I can run both side by side and see what I think. I'm gonna keep that open just to remind myself. Dock Flare, Dock Peak. This is really interesting. Dude, I like this is like I really want to. I'm gonna have to come back and like I'm gonna have some real time to dig into this because this is really interesting the way it looks like that. Anyway,
the only other one that I saw was Jelly Sweep. I don't think there's anything like that for Jelly Seer. It's at the bottom. Hey, up.
Just sweep. Cleanup tool. What are you? I'm using Cleanupper right now and I like it.
Yeah, that's his fault for choosing a Civic, not gonna lie. So.
Yeah, you know what though? I'm a huge fan of these cars, only because I do all my own maintenance. Because I have to work on the car myself. I want something that's easy to work on. By the way, new rotors. I looked at all 4 corners, right? So like the Power Stop Z23, which is like a pretty good, like middle of the road, not super crazy, like drilled and slotted, but also not crappy. For all 4 corners of that car, rotors and pads, $217. So like, I'm pretty happy about that. My rotors are warped. Like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a pain. All new rotors and pads, $200. Like you can't beat that. That's unbelievable. I have to come back in here and come back out and like really, well, for the other one, but this is, yeah, no. So I'm using Cleanupper right now. John just did the thing for Qubit Manage. He's got the Qubit Manage UI up and going, which is something with the next, that's like a Patreon video I might have to do, but those are 2 different really cool containers that do cleanup, and it's completely necessary. I use it a lot. Like I have too much management I need to do, and then if I have to do it by hand, it becomes a huge problem. The fact that they make containers that do this automatically is great. John, you've been really liking your Qubit UI too, haven't you? Like that's been a really pretty.
Yeah, Qubit Manage is a good tool, but it was so off. And now that it's got a UI, it's a lot easier.
The UI is great. I was poking around with it the other day that John had me doing some cleanup work on his server, so I was like, let me take a look at this, and it was great. It was actually
you
really
messed
great.
it up.
I did not mess it up. It's fine.
You did.
Fine.
You messed it up.
It's fine. Don't worry, listen to John. I'm very good at this. Anyway, that's gonna be it.
Make sure to buy. Make sure to go to the coffee and buy that.
Anyway, that's covering this. Do we want to talk about anything else in this episode, John, before we call it?
For the vote that is going to come back, I'm going to prep 5 applications. We did a vote a while ago about adding a description for them before you vote, so that will be on the Discord, and I'll make the announcement tomorrow, and every app will have its description, so you can look at that if you want to before you vote, to get to know every application. So yeah, that's all I have for that.
Yeah, that's all we got. So I'm going through some of the Discord messaging right now to see if anybody's got anything else. Interesting. Okay. Nothing else that I want to cover, I think, right now. So we had to catch up a lot. I'm so sorry for everybody that has been waiting on this to come out for weeks, and like we haven't done a lot of catch up. There's been a lot of T3. There's been none of this coverage. YouTube is challenging sometimes. We're working with that, and we're planning on just keeping it. We should be pretty good for a while now, although John and I are both actually going on vacation at the same time pretty soon. So there's going to be another week coming up here in September where we're going to be off just because we're both going to be taking some time. But other than that, I see no reason why we're not going to be straight through and back on schedule like normal. So looking forward to having you guys in the future. Looking forward to more of this stuff and just talking about all the home lab fun stuff that we're doing. It's going to get really interesting, especially as, I saw the person mentioning TrueNAS on ARM. I'm going to talk about that Monday. So everybody look forward toward the T3 summary video. I watched the T3 video today. It's interesting the way that they're doing things right now for TrueNAS, and the fact that you can do it on other things that are not just basic x86 processors like AMD or Intel. So I'm going to cover that on Monday's video. I'm going to talk more about that next week, possibly next Friday on the podcast as well, depending on how far that goes. I don't know many people that are using something like that, but we're going to say it's a really kind of niche case, and I'm glad that someone's figured out how to do that. That interview is really cool. I'll talk about all that on Monday's recap video. So go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to the channel so that when I release that video on Monday, which should be about 3 o'clock, it'll be the T3 summary video talking all about TrueNAS on ARM and my thoughts on it and its application and where we're at with that right now. But for now, that's going to be it for today. I want to thank John. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. If you're not tuning in regularly, we're here at 11:30 Eastern every single Friday. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are clicking the like button. Make sure you guys are watching. That's really helpful for us. That helps us a lot when we see the subscribers go up and the content goes up and the thumbs up. That helps YouTube push us on their algorithm, and it helps us grow. And the more we grow, the more exposure we have, the more feedback we get, and the better we get. It's a loop that just is. It's a positive loop for everybody. We get more views, and then we get better content, and then we get more reviews from users, and they push cool new stuff to us so that we review, and then we get more feedback on that. And it just keeps going round and round. John keeps yelling at me, and we just keep doing things that I don't want to do sometimes, and that's just how it works. Definitely hit the like button, like Happy has said. That's it for me, though, John. That is for you. We can do a send-off now, I think. That's
Bye!
It. Bye, everybody. I'm going to cut the live stream. I'll see you guys later. See everybody next week. Oh, no. Where's my thingy? Stop.